ahoy and g'day once again to ye mateys. I be your dutifully jovial and pleasingly light-hearted DM Josh the Pirate, and it brings me more excitement than discovering that my spouse secretly owns a yacht, a holiday home in the Swiss Alps, and a craft brewery to welcome you back to Corsair's Cove for a brand new system. Thirsty Sword Lesbians. I am streaming to you today from Wajak Noongar land, and I'd like to pay my respects to the elders past, present, and emerging. Now, fun for me today, this is the 16th RPG system we have used on this channel, which is pretty incredible. With me, I have my hearty crew, the exuberant Daria, surname redacted, the cheerful Malaika Moon, the jolly Ardanna, the mirthful Knight Geo, and the elated Sir Terris. So, let's talk about these lovely folks, but before we do, Lost Archives, thank you very much for the raid, you bloody champion. Big raid as well, thank you so much, you excellent individuals. Welcome, we are having a charity event. So I'm just going to crank the, hang on, apologies, my audio inputs have all been reset to nothing, which is very handy, very helpful. So let us just fix that quickly. There we go. That's a little bit better. So, gang. Guys, welcome so much. Thank you so much for coming. We have a... you can tip. Oh, yes, you can do that. That is not, however, what we're doing. Donations is what we are doing. It needs an S on the end. This is the link. We are raising money today for the Trevor Project. And we are going to be playing a brand new system for the channel. We've never tried it before. We are playing Thirsty Sword Lesbians with my wonderful genderqueer cast. So yeah, we're going to be taking a ray at that. Taking a stab at that. So guys, who the absolute heck are all of you? Daria, who the heck are you?
I'm the hacking Daria. I am an artist. I play Humblewood here on Thursdays, and I made the emotes and the portraits for Humblewood folks in this channel. That's me.
It said you did. Who let Mandy do the tech? It's covered in goo. Absolutely. Got a humble bundle a couple of days ago that donates to the Trevor Project. Excellent. Drop, you bloody champion. Thank you very much for the support, mate. Terris, who the heck are you?
Hello, I'm Sir Terris, your friendly neighborhood ferret. You can find me popping up around anywhere where TTRPGs are played, including here, the Lorite channel, and sometimes over on a microbiologist channel. Right now, we are... Yeah, that is me. I have not got any news quite yet about mice. Soon.
No news about mice. Would there be news about mice? Ardanna, who the absolute heck are you?
Hi, I am Ardanna or Joe or sometimes you there, depending on situation. I am the GM and channel runner over at the Lorite, and I sometimes describe myself as the mole in a whack-a-mole game over in D&D space here on Twitch, because I tend to pop up whether people want it or not.
And speaking of a whack-a-mole in the Twitch space, we've got a couple of people who are rapidly becoming whack-a-moles for Corsair's Cove. We have we have the wonderful Malaika Moon, first of all. Who the heck are you?
Hello, I'm Malaika Moon. I'm here and slightly less confused than I have been in the past. Actually, no, I'm still very confused because this is a whole new system that you sprung on us, but I did like the idea of gay pirates, so as always I was in. Yes, I sing, I burlesque, I act when people let me, and I'm just about Perth doing creative type things.
Splendid.
So
and Geo, who the heck are you, mate?
Hello, my name is Geo. I am from the OzQuest crew. We currently have a new campaign that is started up only a few weeks ago. I'm one of the players on this new campaign who's playing a orcish monk named Jad, soft-spoken but with a heart of gold and just as a gentle giant. But today I am not playing that. Instead we're going to be playing a little bit of a thirsty lesbian, which is going to be great. Well, actually, mine's not even a lesbian. I'm more of an we'll get to it. An omnisexual, shall we?
Okay, an omnisexual.
Oh,
Excellent. And Mesdames et Messieurs, Dames und Herren, and beings of indeterminate gender and persuasion, I be Josh the Pirate. You can find me here on my channel, Corsair's Cove, where I run D&D and other RPG-related games. Turns out 16 different systems worth of RPG games, actually, so far. I haven't even done Quest yet here, and I really want to do that. If you like my majestic voice, but you think I could stand to tone the face down a bit, you can check me out in the podcast There Be Dragons, where I play the infamous and deadly pirate Scan Felspar, and his little dragon, Hrosh. I am generally found infesting the art scene in Perth, WA. Now, guys, I need to talk, first of all, about the charity What We Are supporting today. We are raising money for the Trevor Project, who provide crisis support to LGBTQIA young people. I have put a donation link up in chat, and I'll put another one up now. Donations. All your donations today go straight to the Trevor Project. We do not take a penny out of it. But every donation of $5 or more puts you into the draw to win one of 2 digital copies of the game What We Are Playing. So if you want to have a copy of Thirsty Sword Lesbians for your own self so that you may one day be a Thirsty Sword Lesbian too, and frankly, who doesn't want to be one of those, then you too could be one if you just donate a little bit of money. And also, donations of $25 or more will trigger a wild magic surge. Because why
How does that happen in this game?
So I don't know, I'll just make it work. I make it work in Major Magic, or I can make it work here. And if we hit our goal, and every multiple thereof, I will be finding a suitable reward for the players in the game. I think probably 3 points of experience apiece would probably do. So there you go. I must also remind our happy, bright, and possibly even joyful audience to please like, follow, and subscribe. We have all the exclamation mark socials. We have a YouTube where you can catch all the episodes you may have missed. YouTube, and we have a Discord where you can come and hang out and join us and ask all the questions you may want to ask about our wonderful games. You can even ask where Daria's gone. She's back. It's okay. Do you like my pretty overlay as well? I'm very proud of this one.
Very nice.
It is beautiful.
It's exceptionally queer.
It's so pretty.
Yes.
Remarkably difficult to find a colour on it that I could then remove to put the faces in, because it's a friggin' rainbow. So you will not notice any orange. There wasn't very much anyway, so it was easy to take out. Cool. Well, mateys, we also are supported by Wooten Forge, makers of WA's finest handcrafted wooden tabletop accessories. Check them out on wootenforge.com/Corsairs Cove. And if you purchase anything through that link, we get a cheeky little kickback. You can get yourself some beautiful Jarrah dice boxes and things like that. Very fancy stuff. All heirloom quality, made right here in Perth by a small company. And yeah, be bloody champions and support them. But today is about the Trevor Project. So do that first. Shiny. It is. Mine is actually not so shiny because I've used it very heavily in the last 2.5 years I've had it. So it's getting a little bit now. It's getting that lovely smooth, worn quality to it.
I love that.
Properly, like, you know, when you run your hand down a 200-year-old banister rail, and it's just like you can feel the hundreds of thousands of people using it all the time. Old schools have those, and yes, I hate it when they paint over them. It's an Aussie thing. Just paint over the old wood.
Why?
I'm like, no! A house I used to live in had
Because
nasty
Australians
carpeting.
are dumb.
Yeah, there is that. Nasty carpet over Jarrah floors. I'm like, why have you put carpet over this Jarrah floor? Anyway, I get distracted
Old
easily.
apartment did that.
So-
Old apartment did that on the balcony. They had put green, like moss green carpeting over marble flooring on the balcony.
Why?
It's a bit weird.
we just tore that shit out. We're like, this, yes.
Hey, Absalom Duck.
The
All right.
boomers will
Hi.
be remembered for their obsession with carpeting things.
and linoleum. So much lino. Anyway,
no.
mateys, may the powers of heteronormia leave you free to pursue your life as you see fit, and all your flirtations be reciprocated in the manner to which they were intended, as we head, tremulously at first, and then with mounting heat and passion, into the world of the Thirsty Sword Lesbian Detective Agency.
Thirsty.
The TSLDA is a successful organization by reputation, if not financially, within the small but geographically important Republic of Prydugal. Based in the capital city, Gaze-Glow, and known for taking any job, no matter how challenging, confronting, or impoverished, the fearsome queens of the TSLDA are hardly to be trifled with. Today is a Saturday, and a text has come in from the office that a meeting has been called. Where would you all be? It is morning. It's probably sort of sunlight is creeping through the curtains around 9:30ish in the morning. Where would these people be on a Saturday morning?
Charlie's at the gym, working the sweat.
Love it.
Yeah,
What do we see when Charlie is at the gym? Who do we see?
Alright, so you see Charlie Vex. She's a fiery red hair, where her hair reaches down towards her breast and it's got curly, but she's got it in a ponytail, obviously at the gym. She normally will be wearing a suit, but we'll get to that. Post-gym attire, so she's in her tank top, what's the skinny jeans is what they wear? No. Tights.
Shapewear sort of thing.
Shapewear. Yeah, runners, and she's currently doing her squats at the moment. So
Working on the thighs.
working on thighs. It's thigh day. Loves her thick thighs.
Leg day. Excellent. And the phone buzzes. She's got the phone in an arm, like the holster so she can listen to music while she's exercising, and she
Listening
feels
to
the
heavy
buzz.
metal.
Yeah, obviously, good.
Yeah.
Yes. No, I can do that. Here we go. Hang on. She's listening to some metal. She feels the buzz, and it's a text from the office. It says meeting's been it's from Magda, the receptionist at the office. A meeting has been called. A new client has come in, and you need to come in stat.
Puts the weights down, just makes her way to the showers to freshen up, and yeah, starts heading straight to the to work.
How about I'm waiting for the names to flick back over. How about Penny? What's Penny doing?
Got picked by the teacher first. No, I didn't even put my hand up. Well, Penny is leaving the accommodations of, shall we say, a short-term acquaintance, feeling quite refreshed from the evening's activities. She's managed to procure a bike from said acquaintance because it was the phone call calling her into office that in fact summoned her to get up and leave, because she's like, well, duty calls as always. So she is having a rather lazy and kind of traveling at her own pace, pedal on a push bike down the city's side streets into town to make her way to the office. And even though not all of the streets she's passing through are the nicest, it seems that she is well known because there are a couple of acknowledging nods and people waving to her as she passes.
Cool. And what does she look like? What do we see on this bicycle?
We see a young woman who is wearing a kind of very impractical outfit for for riding a bike, I must say. She has a low-slung, multicolored maxi skirt that somehow works despite being all kinds of clashing colors. It's paisley, it's plaid, it's just random bits of rainbow, all seemingly working in a patchwork maxi skirt. She's hitched it up in a corner, but it still seems to be dangling dangerously close to the spokes of the wheels, and you're certain that it's going to get caught and pull her straight off, but somehow she's making it work. She has an off-the-shoulder kind of crochet shirt that seems to be more hole than shirt, but again, she's not the locals aren't exactly complaining. She is by all appearances seeming to be like a human young woman, but when you look at her closely, there is more of a kind of olive, like as in literally olive green undertone to her skin, betraying her half siren heritage, and her hair seems to be a slightly aubergine color that doesn't seem to be appearing in nature, but it's growing straight from her scalp. And as she makes her way, she's sort of humming in a very tuneless way that the people who are close enough to hear her sort of wince and recoil a little bit because it's not great. But she's having a great time. She's had a great night, and she's while she's like a little irritated about having to go into work, she's always excited to get a new case. So those are kind of like her battling emotions.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Terris, tell us about Rosella.
Rosella is a rather tall but slender lady. She is currently sitting in the break room of the office with a crocheted shawl around her shoulders as she is also crocheting probably more things for little mismatched clothes lady, actually. And also sort of slightly humming to herself as she works away at this.
Cute. So she's at the office already. She never left?
She never left. She has lost track of time. She's got her headphones on and she is just bopping her way to the music while crocheting some kind of extravagantly detailed but very pretty thing for one of her friends.
Ooh, love it. Yeah, what does she look like?
Relatively tall, slightly willowy. She's got long dark hair and piercing blue-green eyes, sort of that sea green color.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of a... Well, she's willowy. She's sort of got that broad-ish shoulder thing about her, but not too much.
Uh-huh.
So she's she's very tall and striking, I'd say, is what you'd get from her.
Cool. Lovely. And how about Claudia?
Claudia is in her penthouse apartment right now. She is an elegant woman in her 40s. And when the text finds her, she is in the middle of her long and very detailed and precise morning routine with like masks, a silk robe on, and a tiny little creature that looks kind of like a goblinoid runs in with a tray on which a phone is resting, and it is like barely a foot up and just like leaves the tray with the message in front of her, and she picks it up daintily with very long, like spidery fingers and long black nails. She reads, Fergus, tell him I'm gonna be at least an hour late. This is ridiculous. And continues very unhurriedly to finish her morning routine.
Love it. Fergus has the car brought around. I'm now imagining that Fergus is the chauffeur.
He is the show. He's the only minion that she has left from her evil stepmother days. So he's like loyal to her fault. She's the chauffeur. She's a chef. Yeah, he's everything.
I really
Does he need a booster seat?
Yes. Yes. He drives with a collection of. It's all his own work. It's like broken broom handles and things that he uses to poke the pedals and stuff. But he does have the full grey chauffeur's outfit and hat.
Full livery for everything. Yes.
Yes. And Ardanna, tell us about your character.
So, Maria, at the time the text comes in, Maria has sat down at a cafe, severely out of place. She is wearing a very nice cocktail dress, and her hair is up in very like dainty ringlets. and she has like a dark chestnut kind of color to her hair, except a few stripes that are in various shades of brown, from dark brown to almost dark blonde. And she's currently almost inhaling coffee. And when the text comes through her phone, she looks at it and just and completely ruining the image of this misplaced upper class woman who just got lost. And she drops a couple of bills on the table, leaves the cup, puts the phone in her very dainty purse, and then as brisk of a walk she can manage in thigh-high boots with a couple of inches of heel, she walks out of the small diner and makes her way towards the office.
Splendid.
You can, yeah.
So who would, I mean, I know Rosella is already there, but of the four who are on their way, who would get there first? If everyone's told that nobody is. Yes, that's true.
Oh, Maria is not that tall. She's maybe 5'6", but with the heels.
Depends how far the gym is, because like after finishing her weights, she's just gonna run straight.
Sure.
So probably be just distance wise, could be the first one, but she could also be the last one, depending how far. Oh no, I feel like Claudia will be the last one. She'll probably get there way before the hour.
Oh yeah. Claudia will walk in at the end of the meeting.
Oh, for sure. Will not apologize once. Yeah.
Nope. And you all are completely used to this. So we have established that the gang has worked together for a while now. At least at least half a year, I would say, as a group. I would say probably Rosella is the latest addition to the group. And yeah, even she's been part of the group for well over like 4 or 5 months at the very least. So you're all quite familiar with each other. I think you're all probably variations on friends, if not good friends. Certainly, affectionate to each other. So let us say, whoever, Charlie is probably the first one there, swiftly followed by Penny. Maria would be probably not too far away. I got the impression she's sort of walking, and she's at a cafe only a couple of blocks away.
Yeah.
All three of you get there pretty much simultaneously, but Charlie would get there first. Charlie, as you get there, you are greeted at the entrance by Magda, a redoubtable woman of middling years in a floor-length black evening gown, despite it being Saturday morning. Though somewhat crotchety, you do know her to have the company's best interests at heart, and it often seems she's the only thing keeping the business going. She says, there you go. Hey, Charlie, how are you, darling?
Hey, Magda. So what seems to be the problem? Ooh.
Thanks for coming in, Toots. Yeah, we've got a new client upstairs. They're just waiting in the boardroom. I think Rosella's up there. She certainly didn't leave last night. She hasn't signed out or clocked out or anything. Well, knowing her, she's probably clocked out somewhere.
Do you reckon I got time for a quick shower? Is this something that will... I just gotta go in.
Yeah, word to the wise. This is a fairly fancy lady. You probably want to make a good impression. Maybe, you look great, darling. You look great, but maybe
thanks.
Clean up a little first.
Yeah, no, yeah, 100%. You don't look so bad yourself. Love the gown.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
Flotsam and Jetsam were taking me out for a night on the town. and she indicates her 2 grey cats. Both of whom, one of whom is sitting on her shoulder, and the other is perched on a cat carrier. On her desk. They're both sizable cats, and you know them to be very intelligent.
I like sort of put my hand forward and let them sniff my hand first.
Yeah.
Engage their reaction.
Jetsam is the one on the cat carrier and sort of reaches out and sniffs you, and after a minute, looks at the hand, looks at you like, it's sweaty, it'll do, and rubs its head and neck on your hand.
Aren't you a little good boy, keeping everyone safe? Well, I definitely probably got to go shower. Yeah, you're right. It's probably not good for a fancy lady, hey?
Cool, yeah. So I would say Maria arrives very quickly after that, just as Charlie is heading inside to have a shower. Oh, good, you're back. Thank goodness. I need someone to deal with this lady upstairs. Charlie's just having a shower, but otherwise you're the first one who looks like approachable, respectable to actually be here. Maria, you gotta go and talk to her. She's this pretty fancy lady, Sally von Rushman. I only know her from by reputation, but she's pretty important.
Oh, what kind of take care of are we talking about here? The approachable but a little wary, or are we talking full shebang, or are we talking like take care of?
I think dealer's choice, darling. She certainly seems approachable. She's a socialite, so whatever goes. She's
Right.
Of the Scissorville Rushmans, so you've heard about them. But I believe she's recently widowed. So maybe go gentle, but definitely go. But she's got a job for us. Well, for you guys, I'm just here, just taking the calls.
Well,
Penny.
you're the most important here, obviously. The rest of us are at least useless when it comes to finances. Well, I am at least.
Look, darling, I keep it all together. You guys are the breadwinners. Penny, there you are, darling. How are you, beautiful? Good to see you.
Oh, it's a beautiful morning, Magda. Honey, you look absolutely stunning.
Thank you,
What's the
darling.
occasion?
The occasion? Well, I was going out for a brunch with Flotsam and Jetsam here. They were taking me out for a brunch on the town. You know how I like to look nice for that. But duty calls, business calls.
Oh,
I imagine Claudia's on her way, but that could be a while. So, there's a fancy lady up in the boardroom. She's eager to meet y'all. She apparently has a job for you.
Well, I love to make new friends. We should probably head up and meet her. Any information we should know?
Maybe have a quick shower? I know how you love to make friends.
Oh no!
You know what?
Not wrong.
Touche, Magda. I'll tidy myself up a little bit.
No shade, darling. No shade at all.
I'll keep her occupied while you freshen up.
I
Although
think
could
Rosella's
use-
upstairs as well.
Nice.
In fact,
I'll go
I'm
with-
pretty sure Rosella never went home. I'm a little worried about that girl.
Well,
Yeah.
Well, we can probably deal with that after we take care of this rich woman. Sally was her name, right?
I'd go with Sally. Call her Sally, not Miss or Lady. It's Lady, technically. Lady von Rushman. Might even be Countess. I'm not 100%. She'll probably tell you. But Lady von Rushman, but it was her husband who was the Lord.
We shall see. Penny, I know that Charlie's already in the showers, so I'll go and see if I can find Rosella and keep Lady von Rushman occupied while you freshen up.
All right, you do that, sugar. I'll be with you as soon as I can be.
All right, so Maria, you head on upstairs, and in the sort of the break room, you find Rosella crocheting.
Yeah, Rosella is crocheting from her headset, her earphones. You can hear blaring, even while they're in her ears, some of the most off-the-wall heavy metal music you've ever heard. As she is just sitting there in her little zen.
Heavy metal lesbians.
Of course.
Yes,
Hello.
It's not that surprising, but it's on brand. I like it.
Not wanting to spook Rosella, Maria's going to take like a long walk, like a long circle around or curve around, so she can slowly come into Rosella's field of vision and just extend a hand in greeting.
Rosella will look up and sort of pop one of the earpieces out of her ear and just, Maria! Hi! Oh, is it time to go home?
No. Well, that was last night. Have you been here all night?
No.
Well, you just asked me if it was time to go home. It's 9 in the morning. My bad, it's 10 in the morning.
Oh. Yes. I lost track of time. That's okay. I got a lot done. Well, good morning. Coffee?
Good morning. No, I had some. I'm just waiting for it to kick in. We have a new client, so if you want to go and freshen up a little bit, I'll keep them busy.
Oh, excellent, yes. And sort of seemingly out of nowhere, but most likely out of the bottom of her crochet bag with all the yarn, she pulls out a rather nice floral dress and sort of throws it over her shoulder and wanders off to the shower area. I'll be right back.
Yep.
Yeah,
Take the
the
time
stream
you
is
need.
big on hygiene. I don't think we've ever focused this much on people being presentable before.
Oh, take your time. Claudia will probably take a while.
Fully 4 of the 5 of you are bathing.
So 1 in the afternoon, you think?
Yeah, I know, right? Are we doing that
Possibly,
scene?
yes.
Karen says, this is Lesbians. They're having showers. I'm like, yeah, I get it. Alrighty. I would say probably by the time... Yeah, Maria, you go in and encounter Lady von Rushman while the others are in the process of arriving. In the main meeting room of the office, an open, airy space. I'm imagining like unfinished brick walls, but a lot of sort of turn of the millennium style architecture, very like bare metal, bare brick, a lot of glass. There is a large wooden table with mismatched but comfortable chairs around it, and one large wall is covered with newspaper clippings and red string at one end. Perusing the wall, you find a striking woman, very short, because different. She is only about 5'2", with vivid white hair and piercing blue eyes. She is wearing a deeply impractical skirt and corset, both adorned with gold lace. And yes, appears sort of taken with your crazy wall, all of which is around a sort of the outline of a face with a question mark in the middle, because none of you have any idea. This is your mystery suspect who you have connected to dozens of crimes, and you cannot figure out who the absolute heck they are. And she appears to be just sort of idly perusing it while she waits for you.
Maria opens the door, steps inside, and then closing it with a audible click, just to announce that, hey, someone else is in here.
Oh. Hello.
Lady von Rushman?
Indeed, but please call me Sally. And you are? And
Sally.
She walks over, offering her hand very daintily, but it is to
Yes.
shake.
Yep. Maria takes the hand and gives a rather firm handshake.
And she reciprocates. She matches the strength of the grip.
I'm Maria. I am, well, for now at least, the face of this organization. I believe you met our beautiful receptionist earlier.
I did indeed. She was very helpful. You see a steaming coffee that, well, it's empty, but it was a hot coffee on the table behind her, but she's clearly finished it. The lipstick adorning the rim is clearly this lady's.
I am glad to hear that. My associates will be with us shortly. We were all a little bit... We rushed over here to meet you.
Of course, I appreciate I'm dropping this on you dreadfully suddenly. It has just been brought to my attention very late notice that a potential issue could be coming up with a charity function that I am organizing this evening. I thought it would be good to have some expertise on the ground. But I shan't overburden you with information that you'll just have to share again later. I'll wait for your companions.
Absolutely.
I love your office. It's very... It speaks to a good group dynamic, I think. A lot of open space, no secrets between you all.
Well, we all have secrets, obviously, but we do share as much as we are all comfortable with.
What a nice thing to have a working environment where everyone is free to be themselves.
I am sure that should you wish to have something similar, we could find a spot for you as well.
Oh, I couldn't possibly be a detective.
Don't undersell yourself. You're obviously already interested in our, for lack of a better term, crazy board.
Oh, that's what that is. I've seen something of the like. I didn't realize it was an actual thing that people really did. Who is it?
We haven't the faintest.
Oh. How bold of you to tell me.
Well.
But you've been on the hunt for some time by the looks of it.
We have, yes. We have some leads that we're going to be following up. But for now, this person eludes us.
Oh, how frustrating.
It really is. But it's also... the chase is also fun.
You kind of hear it like a faint, like sort of noise. Penny, have you seen my sports bra?
Probably where you left it, sugar.
Yeah, where's that again?
Haven't the slightest.
Claudia, I would say you arrive right about now.
Okay. With the screaming from which side?
A shiny black limousine pulls up on the curb outside, and a little goblin gets out. And I love that Daria's little one-off characters always have a goblin attached to them.
I just love a little accessory goblin. What do you want?
What you'll find out later is that Claudia actually has horns as well. It's actually just a gender-flipped version of Damien.
I have an accessory goblin. He's known as a husband.
Oh.
Nice.
Is
Mine
that
is
you
just
or
a sim.
Rosella? Just a simp. Very well. Yes, this tiny little goblin sort of trots around and opens the door, and then pulls out a set of stairs so that you can sort of come down and holds his hand up for you to assist you getting out of the vehicle.
Claudia is dressed in like a fashionable like jewel tone suit, and as she strides into the building and cringes at the sound of shouting from different angles, the little goblin Fergus trots in with a tray of coffees, and as Claudia, just without even stopping, walks across Magda's station, saying, yes, Magda, I know I'm late, but in my defense, I did bring you some good coffee that dribbled the Gorgon across the street pedals, so here you go, artisanal with fairy dust. I will see myself out there.
Oh, Claudia, you're so good to me.
I know.
Just sitting there, just smoking, just working on a typewriter, a phone under one ear, saying, "Thank you, darling. You're so good to me." Head on upstairs. I think Maria's already talking to the new client. I think they're in the boardroom.
Lovely. Why do I hear shouting at 10 a.m.?
As you hear that, you also hear another shout as Rosella has wandered out of the shower, and she's just going to yell out, "Why on earth is there a brazier on the lamp in the break room?"
That's where you left it.
Okay, first of all, darling, put some clothes on before you come out. Fergasonn is about to faint. Second, chop, people. Why all of you are covered in suds? Maria's waiting.
Fergus is averting his eyes politely, and has gone a very bright green. Not that there's a huge amount of goblinoid skin showing. Dagonot X, Daria's non-Russian sounds so less Russian these days. Ooh, interesting.
And yes, I would have a towel around my waist, but I think my boobies are out and proud.
Boobies are out there, breathing.
Yes, she busted bustily into the break room.
And then boobed boobily away to put on her dress. Yep. Very well. So Claudia, you head on up to the meeting room to find Maria and Lady von Rushman standing, sort of both leaning against the table, I think, or almost shoulder to shoulder, chatting.
Question.
It's Serum. Hey, Serum.
What would I know about this lady, since we're probably like in the same circles?
Lady von Rushman is a recent widow. The marriage to her husband, it was only of about 2 years before he passed away. He was a little, but not a lot older than her, sort of was about 10 years apart. No one is identifying her as a gold digger, as I suppose is the point.
No,
she
unlike
was quite
me.
a bit younger. Not unlike unlike you completely. It was considered sad but not tragic. It was unexpected, but no signs pointed to foul play. However, she is a notorious socialite, a patron of the arts, and also famous for putting on charity dues as well. Supports a whole bunch of different charities.
Have I ever heard any like weird rumors about her or anything sus?
Sus. I think this might be the first roll of the game.
Ooh.
Josh frantically brings up his cheat sheet.
Just a quick question. So, like, it's Fergason's a goblinoid, meaning this is like fantasy.
It is sort of urban fantasy, so it's modern setting, but fantasy creatures.
Like fairy
So,
tale.
There are
folks.
orcs and goblins, there are trolls, there is whatever you like. So you don't have to be a human if you don't want to be.
Oh no, I definitely am not. I'm adjusting the
Nice.
design of my character, knowing
Frantically
well.
at
Okay,
this point. Yeah.
This
If
is
y'all
like
want an
right, but
update-
not shit.
Okay, if y'all want an update, there will be an update of how she looks when she gets back.
Very
in.
well. Yeah.
Done.
Yeah, exactly like Bright. Yeah.
but
Yes.
good.
But I thought it was okay. But actually good,
Fair.
not.
The soundtrack was decent.
I thought this
There
was
is
the problem. I
something-
suppose it was conceptually interesting. It didn't go hard enough. It was a very sort of cack-handed attempt at racial politics.
They lost me when they beat the fairy to death with the broom.
That's true.
Yeah, and then
Um,
said fairy lives do not matter today. I remember that moment.
So,
It sucked.
Daria, make me a wit check.
A wit? Don't mind if I do. What's my wit? Hold on. Where's my wit? My wit is +1. It's a
+1.
2d6, correct?
Yes, 2d6 plus 1 then.
Lovely.
You are looking for a 7 to
shout.
9 for a...
Ooh, I got a 9.
A 9. That's pretty good. That is a beat. So in this there are beats, up beats, down beats, and beats. You make the rolls, so you do receive the knowledge that you were looking for. And a 9 is a pretty good success as well. It's not a great success, but it's a good one. So yeah, you would know that this lady, you're looking for goss. You're looking for... So yeah, as I've intimated, there is a little bit of sus around it. She has been... she is always there. Whenever something juicy happens, this person is almost always there. Not necessarily related. There is always a... there's always a little bit of... She's always where the juicy stuff happens. And it's almost suspicious how they're always there. But nothing sticks to this person. She moves through life without ever acquiring anything bad happening to her. It's always to the people around her, never to her herself.
Interesting. Well, as I come in, I say, "Hello, Maria. Good morning, Lady von Rushman. Haven't seen you since the benefit a couple of weeks ago."
Claudia, you would know this lady, actually. You have had like some FaceTime. You would know that she prefers to be called Sally. She's like,
Sally.
Claudia,
How nice.
how are you, my dear? You look stunning today.
Oh, so are you. Very
And how
sad
is
to hear that-
Fergus?
Fergus currently having a nosebleed because, well, a lot of the lovely ladies around, but he's lovely. He's lovely. Won a baseball game against the opposing goblin team a few weeks ago. I didn't come to see it because why would I? But I did send him a congratulating message. He was elated.
Fergus nods. Fergus nods and then looks adoringly up at Claudia. She is completely
the
unaware,
crumbs.
but he is absolutely smitten with her. Yeah.
I think when Claudia fell from grace as a disgraced villain, he was the only one of the little laddies that is stuck around and mostly tries to fund her penthouse rent through his additional work that he has.
Yeah. Claudia doesn't know, but yes, he is a master thief. Yeah, because she has no other means of income. I love it. So yes, Sally von Rushman says, I was just getting to know your business partner a little better. Yes. In fact, I am going to make a DM move at this point.
Ooh.
And I am going to roll to entice Maria with Sally
Okay.
von Rushman. And this is something you are absolutely allowed to do as well. But I'm going to do it first. Interesting. However, Maria, you are more than resistant to this lady's advances. She is... I think it's just a little too early in the morning. And you resist her enticement, I suppose, which allows you to have a string on this person, I think. Yeah, she puts a foot wrong, and just something about her seems a little off. It seems like she is actively, that she's not just flirting with you because she's actually interested or just because she finds it fun. She's trying to get something from you, trying to put you in a favorable mood towards her, and you just sort of pick up on that.
Yeah.
Penny, Charlie, and Rosella, I would say that you've all been chivied along by Magda now, and yeah, you're all sort of ushered into the room, possibly with a broom, just sort of, yeah, hair possibly is still a little wet, but looking significantly more approachable. I think Charlie's probably turned out all right.
Yeah. I mean, Charlie probably, at this point, she's wearing her navy blue joggers, high-rise joggers. She's got her white flogger shirt, her sleeveless navy blue puffer jacket, and her white runners on. She's carrying a water bottle with Hydrolyte in it, or I think a Powerade. It's like,
Gym junkie.
It's all right, Penny. I ended up finding my bra. It was in my bag. So it was all good. You see her, like, she's got a blood red tail that is coming from her back that leads to an inverted heart, just like sort of swaying.
Oh, cute.
Around.
Yep.
Olive skin toned. She is a tall lady, but I guess in everyone else's scenario, we're all tall, so we're all normal height.
Just normal.
So she's normal.
Penny isn't tall.
And yeah, we just walking like, so sorry. Oh, yeah, I found it in the end.
Not
That
a
is
problem
so
at all, dear.
like lesbians to like make beautiful tall ladies because we all love tall ladies. It's just like, yes, delicious.
Yes.
Cool.
I mean, Maria is 2 inches shorter than I am in real life, so. And yeah. Oh.
5'2" isn't that short, Josh. I resent that.
Did I say 5'2" was short? It's not. Karen is 5'2". I love how tall Karen is.
Great,
5'3".
good, nice save. Penny, Penny sort of follows in after Charlie. If anyone has tried to make an effort to make her look more respectable, they have somewhat failed, which is always the endeavor with Penny. She is still wearing her absolute eyesore of a skirt, but it is not hitched up at the side, so at the very least it is touching the floor, and she doesn't have her bare legs and tootsies out for the world. She has replaced her overtly Warhol shirt crochet top with, presumably from their costume stash, what appears to be a men's style dress shirt, but she has, of course, tied it up at the waist so that she has her stomach out and her belly is showing. She's sort of very lazily, like, half pinned up her hair, but most of the locks which she has have sort of coming out at the front, so it's a very kind of half done job, and she sort of looks like lovingly at Charlie and says, "My darling, I swear you would lose your own head if it weren't attached to your body."
Maybe. That could happen.
It still begs the question of who's the brazier in the lounge room.
I look at Fergasonn.
Don't you try to pin that on Fergasonn.
I mean, I did see him looking through my locker the other day.
Yeah, that's just because he's a pervert. Okay, let the man be.
Perhaps we shouldn't be discussing all of this in front of...
It's literally airing dirty laundry.
It is fine. It makes us more approachable and lovely. Isn't that right, Sally?
It does indeed. Well, I'm glad you're all here. I assume this is everyone. So I shall get to the nub of it, shall I?
No, I believe we're missing Rosella.
Oh, no, I'm here. Hi.
Oh,
she sort of
Magda,
wanders
Magda,
in.
get in!
Right
Honestly.
I'm
Herding
sorry.
cats, and I have cats, and it's easy.
Sorry, I was putting the little vest on Jetson. He looks wonderful.
He does, darling. That's great. Thank you. Now get in there.
Terribly sorry.
Magda, before you go, can we get she's gone. Oh.
What did you want?
Fergus, I've decided Fergasonn doesn't speak. He uses sign language.
Sure.
And yeah, he gestures for gestures a query of what do you want? Like he's actively like, please let me serve you. What is it you require, Charlie? Is what he signs.
He does have the tray of the coffees if anyone wants
Yeah.
them.
A
He
protein
balances
ball.
it on his head so he can gesture properly. Protein balls.
The ears.
Yeah.
Keeping
Well, that's why it's so easy. Yeah. So he just
Big pointy
spins it. And so it's on the far side. He is used to this request, and it would normally be a sugar bowl is a half dozen protein balls.
Thank you.
Ooh. Well,
And he
thank you, Fergus.
and he bows whilst maintaining the balance of the tray on his head.
Oh, you're just always such a good boy, Fergasonn.
Let's be honest, it's Fergasonn that is the main reason this organization is
Yeah,
continuing to...
we're now
Yes.
realizing that.
Yeah. Good old Fergus.
Rosella is going to take a coffee and a protein ball, then sort of lean down very, very far and give Fergasonn a tiny little kiss on the cheek. Just a little peck.
Oh my god. Rose, he will not be calmed down after this. You know what happens every time you smooch him. He's gone for a week after that.
Well, he's just so cute.
We need to ration the kisses out. He'll be unstoppable if you just treat him like a dog.
Oh,
He
no,
loves
if
that shit.
he was a dog, I would be kissing him forever. Just all the puppy kisses.
Oh,
I
Penny.
feel like Fergasonn has a tiny little puddle of piss just forming next to his left foot because he's just too excited at this point. Too much attention has been given to this lad.
I don't think he would ever do anything so crass, but there is drool.
Okay, good compromise. It's just like, you know how some dogs, then they're so excited they pee themselves?
No. He's got a little bit of drool, and his eye is twitching.
Oh my god.
Penny,
It's like
Maria-
a short circuit.
Penny wanders over for her coffee and she says, well, I won't kiss him then, but I will say thank you because Forbidden Mountain Blend is absolutely my favorite. And she winks at him after taking her coffee.
And he rolls his eyes like, I know.
Who do you take me for?
Maria-
Thanks, Ferguson.
Yeah. Maria bends down slightly, grabs a coffee, and then, like, covertly grabs a napkin and just wipes the drool, and then makes as if she was holding the napkin under the coffee.
Nice. Lady von Rushman says, marvelous. So, oddly, she and my feelings are similar. I have a job for you all. A relatively quick one as well, or at least won't take very long. So, as you all may well be aware, several charity events in the last little while have been robbed, rather fiendishly. And I'm having one this evening. It's my annual charity art auction for St. Glitterweave's Home for Differently Gendered Youth. Yes, all the Easter eggs, Daria, all of the time. And I'm looking to hire some rather specialist security. Several other events, obviously, have had similar problems, so I don't want anything going down at this one. It's particularly interesting, particularly important, because we have a highlight piece by the marvelous Brian Sword, A Hot Night In. You may have heard of it. Claudia, you have definitely heard of it. Any of you who have any interest in art or the arts would definitely have heard of it. This is almost...
Yes.
This is a modern master Brian Swords. He is a real artist. If you search his artwork, you will find it. It's excellent. And the Hot Night Inn is a very famous piece depicting a pair of rats in an intimate pose.
Charlie like leans towards Maria and is like, "Is she talking about a fencer?"
No,
No, dear.
there, no.
Oh, okay.
No, Brian Sword is a very famous artist, a real patron as well, an excellent individual, and the piece has been donated by the ambassador from Heteronormia, of all places.
Boo hiss.
Well, exactly, but they're doing the right thing, returning it to its rightful place back in Prydugal. So we have to we extend the diplomatic courtesies and all that. And Ambassador Rees is a lovely man, as long as you don't get him onto the subject of politics.
How do you spell his name? Reeds?
Rees, R-E-E-S.
Rees.
I've written down it's Horton Rees. Yes. Ambassador Horton Rees, who has hired you his own self for a different job, as I'm sure some of you are aware. Yeah.
Yes, I have a question. Would Claudia know if any of us have any ties or any contacts with the fantasy police?
Fantasy police, I don't know. Would any of you have any prior experience or relationships with the police force? Claudia, definitely not.
Shockingly, no for Penny. She, while she is welcoming to all, we love her. She is not. She doesn't quite have the taste for bacon.
Understandable.
Would there have been some police officers who utilized the Vex family?
Definitely.
Okay. Then Charlie may know some people.
Know some, but it would be none of them would be happy to be reminded of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How you know them
I'm
isn't
pretty
necessarily.
Charlie probably wants to avoid digging up old contacts anyways.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that Maria is in a pretty similar situation. She is perfectly fine. Just, I might know someone, but they might not talk to me in front of you.
Then Claudia will just pose the question to the room at large with Sally or anyone else. And say, well, what do we know exactly about how the robberies happened before this?
Well, precious little was actually, it has been published, well known. The institutions are generally a little reluctant to share the information of how they were robbed. You'd probably have to go and investigate your own selves. The last couple of places were in the last month. The Gaze Glow College of Fine Arts and the Gaze Glow Concert Hall were both robbed. I know the Concert Hall lost an instrument in the middle of a charity function as well, which is a rather impressive feat. And the College of Fine Arts lost 8 pieces that have so far failed to show up on any grey market, black market, or otherwise market auction. So gosh knows what's happened there. But you could take a trip out, see what you can find out. Man, but really, that's why I'm hiring you. And then, of course, this evening, when you actually, for the actual function, I would request that you, at least some of you, be there on the ground to see if you can't foil this fiendish person or persons unknown. Yes, ma'am. There's no need for hands up.
Is there a dress code or like for tonight's?
It is very much black tie.
I'll sort you out.
Yeah, Rosella was going to lean in and just, I can help you.
Thank you. I mean, I've only got black jackets and runners. I don't think that would work for a tie event, would it? No.
We are painfully aware, Charlie. Yes, we know your wardrobe.
Okay.
You can wear one of my dresses.
Well, okay, let's not go crazy. We'll talk about that a bit later in the day. Sally, would you want anything else with us? What would be the best mode of communication with you if we find something out before evening comes?
Well, I've given my number over to Magda, but yeah, here's my card, darling. And she pulls out a little clutch and, yes, gives you one. She would definitely give it to Claudia, and she can sort of allow you to share the information as required, but it would go to Claudia as a member of the same social circle.
Oh, and Sally, would there perhaps chance be how do I post this? If we are to provide security and such for you, would there be a chance for us to see the venue before the event?
Oh, I should imagine so. That's eminently possible, of course. The doors open at 6:30, but if you're there by 5, you could certainly get your boots on the ground a little earlier, or obviously your fashionable high heels, I imagine. Possibly something a little practical.
Ah, yes. These would probably not do in case I have to run.
Oh, and that's the other thing, of course. Weapons on the premises, only blades. Social norms and all, you know that. But no firearms, of course.
Oh, I don't see how that would be a problem.
So in this society, swords are considered part of formal dress. It's a sort of an open license to carry a bladed weapon, but nothing. Pistols and the like they exist, but they are not considered. Yeah, it is that you have to have a proper license.
Yep.
And so each of you would have a sword. And when we come to it, I am curious as to what do they look like.
I know exactly what mine looks like. Claudia just carries a stiletto dagger across like the thigh, but Fergasonn, on the other hand, is like
a claymore,
armored to the teeth with like different types of hunting knives and a saw for some reason.
Yeah. So traditional goblin style, though, that are all like chipped and rusted, and like, or is it all very high end gear?
I think he cares for them quite a bit and cleans them, but he appreciates the traditional goblin styles, so like jagged edges and all that.
Yeah.
Under his black smoking suit, he has like a saw.
Yeah, absolutely, love it. Marvelous. Well, is there anything else I can tell you? I do have, obviously, as you can understand, an awful lot to prepare this evening.
The previous functions where the things were taken, do you perchance know of any lists of attendees that survived?
It's always the same sort of, I mean, you've been to a few of these gala events, you know, it's always the same hangers-on and people who want to be seen, you know? The same page 14 news, down the column, everybody who looks good on a red carpet's there. So the list doesn't tend to vary very much, but you would be able to get the door list from both of the places.
Well, I don't have any further questions.
Thank you.
And yes, after we have finished this job, you can take care of the less interesting bits with Magda, I'm sure.
Oh, that's already negotiated.
She's such efficient.
She's very efficient. You're blessed, honestly. I need to find one of my own. And a little fellow like this as well. And
these
boots
come
him on the
complimentary. God damn, it's fine. I'll deal with him. He'll have to stay for like at least 3 nights in a row in a sensory deprivation tank. Yeah. Yes, to like calm down. But yeah, these come complimentary with your third widowing event. You know how it goes.
Just quickly, what was the sport Fergasonn played in?
What sports? Baseball?
It was baseball.
Yeah.
And you said what did he do? Like he just won the game?
He
or
won
like
everything. He played solo. Was the implication that he
nothing about
right,
baseball.
okay, right.
Oh, okay.
So,
But so
yes.
he just played in baseball. Okay, cool.
Right. I had it the impression
Oh.
that he played
Goblin
against a
team.
team of other goblins and won on
Yeah,
his
he
own.
was the pitcher, the hitter, the bouncer, whatever
yeah.
they are.
Yeah. Right.
Oh,
Yeah, I feel
Sally-
like when the other goblins left, he was left as the only member of the buzz.
Yeah,
the
he was
baseball team.
hopped up to his eyeballs on like gamer fuel, and like he was running around.
No, it's good.
Yeah.
There's a reason.
He plays dirty baseball as well. Like they were yeah, there was some hamstrings cut and stuff.
I was just picturing a fantasy version of baseball that is just a battle royale, and the only person left standing on
Pretty
the
much.
home base is the winner, technically.
Yeah. That's called Blood Bowl. It's a Warhammer sport. Yeah.
And the tagline, home run, you better run.
Yeah.
Oh, Daria.
That is
okay.
the limit of my baseball knowledge. Thank you very much.
Very
Thank you very
good,
much.
Daria. I'm going to give you inspiration for that whole bit.
Nice.
Up to and including
What does
home
that
run, you
mean?
better run.
That's amazing.
Daria, I don't know how inspiration would work in this game, but let us say that you can, the next time you roll a pair of d6s, you can re-roll one of them.
Nice.
Or you can choose to
Awesome.
use it for that. So there you are. Okay,
Well-
well then, as Lady von Rushman would take her leave of you. And she actually dials her phone, she pulls out her phone, and you hear the whirring of a helicopter landing on the roof.
When do we have a helicopter pad?
That's
don't,
mine,
that's the
dear, that's
problem.
mine. Though, after you pick up your pay from this evening, you may well be able to afford one. She gives Maria does the French style cheek, and Claudia as well, and then she goes to shake the hands of the other three who she doesn't know as well. And yes, the grip is always matching your grip. A pleasure, darlings. And then heads on up to the roof and leaves. And Fergus watches her go. His nose sort of follows like a compass dial.
Mm-hmm. As she leaves, when she's like long left and is out of earshot, Claudia says, "Yeah, she's quite good. Also, Fergus, do you have a license to fly a helicopter? I will not be outdone by someone who's just once widowed."
Claudia, dear.
Fergus gestures, not now, but by this evening. It's Matrix rules. Dials out the phone
Claudia.
and is like, I need a pilot's license for a G-16 helicopter.
Claudia, why would you want to match her?
You're right, a Chinook.
Ooh, a Chinook. Yeah, that's better. You know what? Fair. Anyway, what do you guys think? What's
She's
the vibe
sus.
we're getting? Oh, for sure. I mean, I know her. She's sus. But what do we think about the job?
I mean, we've all got bills to pay, so we might as well take it.
Yes,
Yes.
I agree.
Charlie, what's your take? You're usually good at like sussing out characters.
I mean, see, she seemed. I'm concerned about the fact that there's some of the paintings weren't noticed, or the fact that there was some that was stolen, and yet knowing all this, still wanting to go ahead with, well, asking us to be security rather than investigate was also what confused me.
Oh, this seems like a complete trap to frame us.
Yeah, I that's where my alarms are coming from. I don't like the fact that we're here to be a it feels scapegoaty.
Indeed. I feel that we should go and check out the other places. And, well, as you mentioned before, she would have been on all of these gala events, if nothing else, to be seen at these events.
Well, that kind of matches the profile of the person doing these crimes, don't it? Stealing items in the middle of a gala rather than before or after. That's someone who wants to showboat. Someone who
Yes,
wants to
quite
draw
yes.
attention to themselves.
Or someone who is very bored and know that they can nick it before or after, but they need the challenge.
That too.
Well, the instrument was taken as the orchestra was playing, as far as I understand. So
It was at
it
an
is definitely
interval.
some. It's an interval. I thought it was like if they steal as the person is playing.
In fact, Claudia,
that
you
is-
would know the instrument in question was a 350-year-old grand piano.
Oh, that's good knowledge to have. Okay, so it was a piano. So either we're looking for someone with magic,
How?
or someone who's very strong, which we are not. Most of us are not combatants.
Yeah, low key, because of her past, Penny would definitely want to pick the brain of the person who managed the grand piano. Because
Yeah.
it's impressive.
Yes, that is
Well,
just how?
if
Well-
going to the places where this stuff was taken before, I could try and do my thing and ask around if you can keep nosy know-it-alls away.
Maybe you check out the places, and I think Claudia had the right idea of checking about the highbrow fancy people. But we can't forget the staff who were working the venue as well, and maybe that's more my speed.
Yeah.
I don't think they speak sports. So
Well, you can check out
Yeah.
ways in and out. Like if they used a
give me a
Hello,
second. Give me a second. She runs out, and then she comes back in, and she's got like these like rock climbing gloves.
yeah.
I've been so waiting to test these out.
Oh, that's an excellent idea. I was gonna suggest you take the stairs, but maybe if you can find out like going around the buildings.
Be cool. All right. Leave that to me. That'll be great.
Oh, Rosella, what would you like to do?
I was thinking we're fairly certain that it'll be this person is sort of a little bit of a showboat, yes?
Yes.
We're thinking that it will be the special painting whose name escapes me right now. Something night.
Hot night in.
The rat fucking,
hot-
yes.
Yes, a hot night in that is likely to be targeted.
Yes.
So what if I were to just casually guard it on the night?
That is quite a few hours looking at two sensually passionate making out of rats. You sure you can handle that?
I'm sure I'll survive.
Okay.
Maybe you'll learn something about yourself in all that time.
Well, I am fond of rats.
Possibly not in that way, though, darling.
No, of course not.
So
Charlie
it's-
leans to Fergasonn and is just like, I thought we were going to an art gallery, not a boat. Why do they keep saying showboat? I'm confused.
Oh, Charlie.
Thanks, Ferguson. Oh, Charlie.
Oh god.
Thank God for the ass on this one.
You go have fun with your sticky gloves, Charlie. You go have a good time with those.
Well, it seems like
Everyone
we're
just
all
pat
heading
Charlie
the
on the head.
Yeah. It seems
Okay.
that we're going to the concert hall and college of the arts, which is in the same place, I assume, correct? On the campus?
They are in different places, but they are like both in the center of the city. But yeah, they're not right next door to each other. They are a couple of blocks apart.
Do we have a company van?
Sure, if you want to. Very little has been established about it. If you do, it is either something you spend way too much money on, or it was the bare minimum you could afford. Dealer's choice.
I just want one of those like Ghostbuster-esque vans with like garish
Definitely,
it was
definitely
decoration.
Second.
Uh,
then.
So
So,
I think
Yes.
I have this idea of you guys having this company van and Rosella having fled from the kingdom of heteronormia, fled in one of the royal carriages that she has now sort of sanded down and sort of chop-shopped, so it
Yes.
looks much less like the royal
is-
carriage of heteronomia.
I
And
love
it's
it.
still pulled by 4 formerly white horses. Now they seem to be Appaloosas.
Right. I love it.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Um,
So that is your mode of transportation as a business. Is Rosella's horse-drawn carriage.
Claudia affectionately calls it the Trashmobile because she hates how garish we made it, but also does not want some of the companions to be in her limousine ever. So, so she
But
elects to
Fergus
travel
does
with them.
drive.
Of course.
Yeah. Very well. So you are going to go and investigate a couple of the sites of the previous crimes.
Yep.
Each with your own intentions. Yes.
On the way there, I feel that Maria would dip into the locker room and just bring out a pair of slacks, a actually functional top, and then remove the earrings and then just tie her hair back in an actual ponytail instead of the ringlets.
Very well.
And yeah, as she walks out, you see that her entire top, like her arms and the top of her chest area, is covered in vine-like green tattoos.
Oh, cool.
And she has obviously used makeup to hide them before.
Ah, neat. So one final question about characterization, and then we'll have a quick breakout. But we've established that Claudia is armed mostly with a stiletto dagger, and Fergus has any number of pointy, sharp implements, despite not being a lesbian. But what are the rest of you armed with? What are your swords?
2 giant knitting needles.
Nice.
Yep, sure. Why not?
So Charlie's one is, at first it appears like a baseball bat, right? And then, but at the handle of the baseball bat is actually a cedar wood with intertwined with some African jade rock with a ruby gemmed at the tip. And when you press on the ruby gem, it actually unsheaths a hunter's machete.
Love it.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, so it
Cool.
starts off as a baseball bat until she wants to pull out the machete.
Yeah. Variable bludgeoning or slashing damage weapon. I love it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Penny?
Apocalypse.
Pen-
Here we come.
Penny has kind of, it almost looks like a stunt weapon, so people forget that it's actually functional, but it's a very heavily and very old looking bejeweled hilt, bejeweled scabbard, just a very like wickedly curved decorative looking saber that is almost half as tall as she is, and
Very
it,
then. Oh no, wait, she's not very. Yeah.
she's not very tall. So it hangs
The one person who's not tall.
yeah. And everyone wears heels around her, and she's mostly barefoot, so it's just super emphasized. So she has, like, you know, kind of her sword belt that it hangs from, and like it's only because of the curved blade that it doesn't quite
Drag on the floor.
drag on the floor. And yeah, it almost looks like a cartoon weapon, and people think of like, oh, look at her with her pretty little sword, but she can be efficient with it when she needs to.
Cool. Love it.
Yeah.
And Ardanna. How about Maria?
Maria has a double-edged, almost similar kind of weapon, but it's dagger length, like, that slopes a little bit backwards, and from the handle hangs 3, like those ornamentations you have on phones. So one is a feather, one is a
fascinating. One's a Pikachu.
Almost like but if like a Pikachu with a little bow on it, and one is just like a string of beads on it.
Yeah,
I love it.
Excellent.
It's a bone handle on it.
Ooh. And it's a long knife, so about a foot long, sort of curved blade.
Yeah.
Single edge.
And it's it's double-edged and slightly curved.
Oh, love it. Alrighty, excellent. Well, guys, thank you very much. Well, I suppose we should go and have a short breaklet. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. They are all metal. Yeah, absolutely, Bishop
Yes.
Blood. I mean, these are sword lesbians, not any of your common or garden lesbians. So we will go have a breaklet and have a short one. We will be right back. I'll chuck the donation link back up in chat. See you in 5 to 10. Thanks so much for playing, guys. So much. We'll see you soon. Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Vast ahoy and g'day once again to ye mateys. I be Josh the Pirate, and we be back for some more thirsty sword lesbians. Or dehydrated genderqueers with bladed weapons, if that's more your thing. We are running today's charity stream in the support of the Trevor Project. You can see our donation link in chat right now, donate.tiltify.com /at Josh the Pirate / dehydrated genderqueers with swords. Head on over there, and every $5 enters you into the draw to win a copy of said game, which is good fun, and we're having fun with it, are we not, ladies and gents? It is a 2d6 system where we can add a whole bunch of different things to it, and we're all just sort of figuring it out and learning it as we go. But I'm having a blast, and I hope you all are too. Mm-hmm. The gang is headed to the Gaze Glow Concert Hall to see if they can investigate the disappearance of the 350-year-old grand piano. Heading on over there in the coach that has been very much made up, or sort of made down, I suppose, is really what Rosella did to it. It was
Indeed.
Originally a pumpkin coach, like that style fantasy coach. But I think it has been redone to be more apple-shaped.
Definitely.
As you say, the horses have been painted too. Fergus...
What do you mean painted? They're Appaloosas. Those are not Sharpie
They're
marks.
supposed to be like that at all. And Fergus very ably drives the carriage there. Not a spur or whip is used. You make it in good time. Claudia very much slumming it. In the middle of the coach. You pull up at the Gaze Glow Concert Hall, it's quite a. Oh, okay. It is an interesting building, very modern style. But the interior is, the outside is very modern. However, the inside is modeled on a very traditional, almost actually heteronormal style concert hall. Think a lot of red velvet, red carpet, gilt, a lot of gilt. So much gilt in the heteronormal styles, and yes, chandeliers, the whole 9 yards. It's a very, very, very fancy building, a sunken orchestra pit, and on a thrust stage there is, or was, a very old grand piano that has disappeared. You arrive, there is a marble entranceway within a very, think 80s sort of industrial, modern outside exterior, brushed concrete, and then inside you find marble and even more gilt.
Now, ask something, just to establish, is there actual magic in this world?
Yep.
Okay.
It's sort of, techno magic. Hey, Tony. Good to see you, mate.
Also, I have a tiny question. The grand piano,
small?
has it currently been replaced by an electric keyboard?
Currently, no. It was on loan. It wasn't the, this was not the home of the instrument.
Oh, no.
It was the personal possession of the orcish maestro who was playing it at the time. It's a guitar.
Oh, goodness.
Just
Hey,
to
Kristen
say,
Grant.
classic Casio keyboard just
Yeah.
plonked in the middle of the stage.
Yeah, look, you can still get good sound out of it. Yes. So yeah, you arrive, and I'm imagining while the owner was playing it. No, it was stolen at intermission, which is information you will get when you get there and have a conversation with people. So yeah,
Yes.
the 5 of you arrive. Fergus pulls up out the front in this carriage. You're all right, Crispin. And yes, you disembark. He winds down the stairs so that you can get out easily, and he takes hand one after another. He insists on sort of helping each of you out of the carriage.
I think Maria, as she gets helped down and reaches the ground, she just pats him a little bit on the little chauffeur's hat.
Yep. One sob and 5 doms. It's great.
Charlie just jumps out.
Yeah. Charlie just ignores the hand completely, and he looks very disappointed, but Charlie doesn't see.
Claudia also ignores the hand, but just because she knows he'll have the zoomies for a month if he continues getting all this attention. So she's just like, nope, I need to be strict.
Yeah. Which only makes him more keen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Treat him mean and keep
walking up.
him keen.
What is it? I've just decided that Penny is aware of Fergus's after hours activities because game recognized game.
Yeah.
And she accepts the hand, and then but as she releases, she signals signs directly in front of his face, focus, and keep your eyes out to pay attention to surroundings, and essentially communicating I'm gonna pump you for information after to see
Noted. He's
if
looking
there's
forward to
anything
being
you've
pumped.
noted that I haven't.
Yeah.
Of course he is.
Of course he is.
Yeah.
It'll be worth it going into the sensory deprivation tank.
He'll need it after this. Yeah. His tiny body only has so much blood in it.
I am trying to drink.
Well, that's on you, Terris.
Frantically restraining
how we
myself from
roll.
doing the same. And Rosella also gets out of the carriage. You all go
Yes.
inside. Actually, this is an interesting question for me. Does Rosella... how daintily ladylike is Rosella?
Very. Is she hops down there with quite a bit of grace. Takes Fergus's hand, of course.
Yeah. Cool. Alrighty, you head on inside. There is no show on today, but there are posters and advertisements for a show later in the week. You go inside. There is a concierge, there's a ticketing booth, there is a bar where a bored-looking bar woman is waiting. What do you do?
Immediately, when I see the concierge, I snap my fingers and demand the director of the hall using my status.
All right. This is a power move as well. I definitely like a check of some sort, I think.
Heck yeah. Can I use my daring? Because that's pretty fucking daring.
It's forceful. Yeah, sure. I'll allow it. That's
Heck yeah.
probably what I'd have gone with. Yeah, make a daring check.
I think with Claudia, daring is never really about like fighting, but it's more like out of my way, fools. You know,
Yeah,
like Maleficent
yeah.
type shit. Yeah.
It's power moving. Yeah, absolutely.
Mhm. Oh, okay. That is +2, so that's 11.
Wow. You get the director of the hall. Yes. There is some flustered underlings. There is a lot of chittering between them. Fergus goes over and mutters to a couple of them. And
You mean signs?
well, yeah. Sorry, yes. Gestures to them and explains. And they. Oh yeah, no, Gia's on the piss as well. And the director of the hall, Andrea Fuentes, is sort of ushered into you. She is wearing a white, a white suit, skirt suit. And practical heels, and comes in and greets you and says, hello, ladies. Lovely to see you, Miss Claudia. What's Claudia's surname?
Sable.
Miss Sable. Lovely to have you back with us. How may I assist?
Well, we currently need full access to this concert hall. Thank you very much, because we are investigating the robbery that has occurred here recently.
I see. Finally, the police force have suborned you, have they? Excellent. I'm glad to hear it. Yes, marvelous. Well, I can show you the location and where it all occurred. Please follow me. Yes.
At this point, Penny peels off and heads towards the bar because Claudia's role is the highfalutin people. Penny works more with people
With the
who are
groundlings.
closer to the ground.
Yeah.
So she heads over to have a bit of a chat with the bartender. But
Yep.
yeah, with opening with essentially she's like, oh my god, girl, they got you working during the day? What the hell is this? Attempting to be approachable.
This is nothing. I am often here in the middle of the days. Can I get you something? You have gone rather quiet.
You're muted.
I didn't do that.
There you go. There we are.
Okay. Well, now I'm unmuted. She's like, well, I'll just pull up a chair and have the conversation. A bit of conversation is all I need from you at this point in the day.
Oh,
What are these?
very well done. And she goes back to polishing a glass. Conversation is always welcome with a lady as good looking as you.
Oh, stop. You're making me blush. Yeah. Tell
The
me
color in
some-
your cheeks makes it worth it.
So she sort of leans towards and says in a conspiratorial tone, she's like, say, did you happen to be here the day that they had the big old piano was taken right from under everyone's noses?
Oh yeah, everyone was on staff that day. It was, what was it? What you say? All hands on deck situation. Big fancy do. They made us put on the proper outfits. This is very much the sort of casual day uniform, not the, we were all in the what is the phrase? The penguin suits.
Penguin suits. Well, I have to say that the casual day look do look good on you, girl. But what else? She's trying to pump her for information. What's she gonna ask?
No brain.
What?
Nothing.
If you need help, I think a good question would be to ask what distracted everyone when, like, the intermission occurred and the piano got stolen. Like something clearly happened, because otherwise that's a big fuck off object.
Okay.
Yeah.
She's like, it just seems crazy to me that the thieves made off with a whole damn piano and absolutely nothing noticed. What was there, a fire happening in the main room?
No, it was all open and done very quickly. I was not in the room, so I did not see it, but I have heard from some of the ushers that the lights did go out for a short time, and there was not very many people in the room at the time, though there was not none. Most of the orchestra was still in the pit, but the player, the maestro, the pianist, he was not at the instrument at this time. He was in his dressing room. And a good portion of the audience had come out for drinks and canapes and, all the fancy. But he was, the lights were out for about, I am told, about 15, 20 seconds. And when they came back on, when first no one really noticed that it was gone, but they think it was gone during the dark.
Oh, almost like magic. 15, 20 seconds. Barely enough time to move anything any which way. And you'd think there'd be noise too.
You would think this.
No.
There is a move, Malaika, called Figure a Person Out. If you are wanting to figure this person out, see if they are being completely honest, see if they're holding anything back, that would be the move to do. I'm not necessarily saying that they are holding anything back, but if you're wanting to pump them in for information, that'd be the move to make.
I'm trying to figure a person.
It's in the basic move reference. It is you roll wit.
Do I have wit? I think I've got 0 wit, but
Oh, no.
Same. Relatable as hell.
She's
I mean, characters, yeah.
She's graceful. She's not witty. She does her best.
Alternatively, you could, if you're trying to be persuasive, you could roll heart instead.
0 heart too.
While you have a think, we'll cut to the others.
Yeah, please cut to the others. I need to think for a minute.
They are heading into the place.
The place
like
where they do the thing.
Right here with us. So, I wasn't going for Russian. I was going for German.
It didn't seem like Russian. It was very German.
I wasn't trying for Russian. I'm actually not bad at it. But I'm certainly not that bad that everybody thought it was when I was trying for German. I did Russian yesterday, of all things. I also did Welsh.
Oh, give me a
Thank you very
taste,
much.
then.
No, it's resetting my brain to Russian after German. Are you kidding me? I got to German. I was trying for Spanish. Slipped into German. Like, fuck it, this'll do. It's different. I'll stick it with it. Welsh is quite easy. I can actually put that one on very easily. But we've already established what this lady sounds like. So I'm going to be sticking with the lady. Yes, she says, so here is our wonderful concert hall. Reconstructed from earlier designs, of course. It was bombed out during the war. But it is still the original building. The facade is, of course, the original. So, yes, here we are. What else can I help you with?
Oh, I would very much like it if I could get some space and perhaps a bowl of ice cold water, preferably a brass or gold bowl.
I believe we can probably manage a brass one. Yes.
Yes.
Would silver be better?
No. I would prefer one with a gilded hue.
Oh, gilt. That's fine. We can do gilt. Yes, absolutely. Anything else?
Some space.
Of course. She bustles her way away, leaving you guys sort of. There is a couple of ushers are sort of at the entranceways, but they are giving you the space.
Yep.
So, Maria, what are you going to do? I am furiously curious now. Love it.
Well, when Maria gets the bowl with the cold water back, she sits down, like with her feet dangling into the orchestra pit.
Mm-hmm.
And she holds the bowl with cold water in her hands, with fingers dipping into it. And I think that the others have seen her do this before. It's like the water is basically an anchor point. And you see her eyes roll back into her head for a moment. And what I'm trying to do is to see if anything unseen have been here and can help us figure out how the piano vanished. If they noticed anything when the lights were out.
Anything unseen. So, yes. So you're trying to commune with the beyond? Maybe a ghost or some sort? Is that what you're looking for?
Maybe a ghost. It says commune with the unseen. When you perform a ritual to commune, there...
Okay, no, I know exactly what it is. Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
All right. So is this just an auto success, or do you have to roll for it?
It is a success, but I do have to roll to see what happens.
Right.
So
well,
what it says
roll,
is,
then.
is given a dangerous unseen a string on you and roll.
Ooh. Cool. Love it. Alrighty. Yeah.
So,
roll the dice. 2d6 and probably plus a skill.
Yes, it's spirit. Oof,
Yep.
that is a bad. That's not a success at all. Ouch. That's a. So you add them together, 5 plus 2, 7. So
7.
Just
into the into an okay roll. What you would get is you do get the conversation. But so you dipping your fingers into this bowl, you look into the bowl, and in the reflection of the water, you can see a face looking back that is not your own.
Yep.
It is blue in skin tone, light blue, and has long pointed ears and orange hair. A sort of but with an interesting hairline, more of a mane than a. It's more like a just down the center of its head. It's the bald on the sides, and it blinks its eyes up at you, and its eyes blink like that, not like that. And it says, "Yes."
We are looking into a robbery that happened. Would you be so kind as to tell us, or tell me? Okay, I can ask 2 questions. How was the robbery performed?
The face emerges from the bowl, and out pops a fairy. It is about 1.5 feet tall, floating on gossamer wings, dressed in a dress made exclusively of leaves, quite form-fitting. It's very much an hourglass figure on this fairy, and she looks around the room and says, "Ah, yes, I was here for this one. Can the others see this, or is it just you?"
It's let's see. I don't think they can see.
Okay.
It says most cannot perceive, so I
Right.
don't think the others can see this
Cool.
fairy.
Very well, then it is just you talking to the ether. They hear you talking, they just can't see what you see. But yeah, she sort of floats and flits around. You know her only as Jane, but you are very confident that is not her actual name. Faye would not give you her name. And Jane says, "This was a clever one, yes. So, the piano didn't go anywhere."
It's still here.
No, it's gone now. But it didn't leave until several hours after everybody thought it had gone.
That is smart.
Just disappeared. You can make something incorporeal without moving it far easier than just by shifting it.
That is really smart. Okay, second
Good
question.
bit of magic, didn't mind seeing it.
I would have loved to see it myself. Second question. How do I formulate this?
That's not the question.
No, that's not a question. That was player thinking.
Yeah, I'm not that kind of DM. Unless you cast Wish.
That's fair.
The whole point of Wish. Are there any sort of restrictions on the questions you can ask?
As far as I can tell, no.
Oh,
but since I just barely got a success, I will also have to choose one thing that goes wrong.
Yeah. The unseen, communing with the unseen. Yes, here we go.
Yeah.
One thing that goes right. Restless unseen cause a haunting. Destroy all non-sentient life in a small area. Goodness.
Damn.
None unseen
Fergus just
judge
dies.
you, inflicting a condition.
I think Fergus is sentient.
We'd like to think that.
He is comfortably the smartest person of all of you.
For sure, yeah.
He was,
okay,
yeah.
So is the theft of this piano connected to the Rushmans?
And here with the unseen, give a dangerous unseen roll. So they necessarily know the answer.
Doesn't say anything about. As far as I understand, I could learn something important from the unseen is the first one I used, and ask a question from figure out a person of anyone anywhere if you can name one of their deceased loved ones.
Okay.
I can't name any of the deceased loved ones, so.
But you wouldn't. You would be able to. You're like you could easily have found out the name of the guy she married, for example, or something like that.
Yes. True.
So it probably would have come up in the conversation with her while you were chatting before the others. The question was, is it connected to the Rushmans? The fairy says, an interesting way of putting it. The answer is yes. Connected is what it is.
Interesting. Thank you for your answers. I will not keep you any longer.
Sensible. I am going to inflict a condition on you.
Ooh, okay.
I'm going to inflict insecure on you.
Ooh, okay.
I think it makes the most sense.
Yeah.
I think you don't like your friends seeing you do this.
Yeah.
They know you can. They don't really understand what it is you're doing or how you come by the knowledge you come by. And it freaks them out a little bit. or at least you worry it does. I don't necessarily know. I'm not going to speak for them
Yeah.
about that, but I would say, yeah, that sort of makes sense to me.
Yeah, definitely. Yep.
And
And now there are several ushers that saw it also.
Yeah, this is not a private thing particularly.
Yeah.
One of the ushers was one who brought over the bowl and then returned to the door. So yeah, I'm just going to jump back to Penny, and then I will ask the others what they were doing while Ardanna was having this conversation. Penny, you are chatting with a German bartender.
She's having a great time. I'm not, but she's having a great time. All right, let's give this figure out a person a go.
Very well. Yeah.
All right.
The average on 2d6 is 7, so you have a good chance of rolling it even if you don't have a plus to it.
Let's see.
Or not.
All right, let's see how we go. Maybe I should have stuck to the virtual dice. Let's see. I got 3.
That's not necessarily bad. It just means you didn't succeed.
Okay.
So you got a downbeat.
Mm.
GM moves, yes. It's not necessarily a failure. It just means that this person will be less... So you're trying to figure them out, yeah. Interesting.
Okay, so what's her question? I'm gonna be super interested to her response to the question then. Where she's still sort of leaned forward in that conspiratorial way because they're talking about the robbery, which is kind of like, ooh. She's like, hey, you gotta see all the fancy folk coming in and out of this place for all the big to-dos and whatnots. What's your read on the Von Rushman blade?
I'll be with you in just a second on that one. Thank you very much for the follow, you bloody champions, and the raid as well. D8 Dungeon, thank you very much for the follow, you bloody champion. It's Fate's Grip is raiding us. It's Fate's Grip, thank you so much for the raid, you excellent individuals. We are having a little bit of a charity game in support of the Trevor Project. So if you do fancy entering the draw to win one of 2 copies of Thirsty Sword Lesbians, please consider donating to the link what is up in chat and join us in following Fate's Grip. They are excellent individuals. Creating some marvelous D&D content. Guys, how was your game? Tell us about it. We are currently playing the first time we've ever played Thirsty Sword Lesbians. Yes, we are the dehydrated genderqueers with bladed weapons, and holy shitballs, we've had a big donation. Thank you very much. You splendid individuals. Someone has dropped $20 whole into that. Thank you so much.
That is also
Nice.
Oh, thank you.
Excellent. Putting us at our first 25%, which means a wild magic surge happens. Yeah, boys and girls and people of indeterminate gender and persuasion. Marvelous.
I don't like that laugh.
What could possibly go wrong with it? Let us have a look. Seeing as it's Malaika we are talking to right now, no game tonight due to illness. Instead, much mayhem for Thirsty Thursday, but on a Tuesday. I see. They weren't playing a game. Marvelous. Well, thanks for filling me in, Kate. Malaika, you've got some other dice there as well. Do you want to roll a D20 and a D100, which is actually just the 2 D10s? And tell me what you get. The D10s you roll both together, and the one of them has 10s and one of them has 1s on it. Hope you all have a wonderful night. Thanks for helping us. Thanks for having us. Hate to raid and run, but I'm wrecked. That's absolutely fair, Emily. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for bringing your lovely peeps. Have a marvelous time zone. Spread out, head out into the world and be kind to others. Great to have you here. Thank you so much for joining us.
One has
Yes.
10, someone has 1. Okay, so the D20 and the 2 D10s?
Yes, please.
Okay. I got a 15 on the D20.
That's a nuisance roll. That's not too bad.
The D10s, I got a 20 and a 6.
D6. Very well. that's yes. Okay, that's cool because it means it actually probably won't happen to you, Malaika. That's fine. This will be happening in the main auditorium.
Yeah.
That's fine though. It's totally great. This bartender leans in a little bit closer, and Malaika, you realize you know her.
Ooh.
She used to work for your brother.
Well, that'd have to be the human brother.
I'm sorry, what? The human brother, as in opposing to a non-human brother.
Well, she doesn't have any non-human brothers because sirens only have sisters. So
yeah. Sorry, no, I'm muddling myself up. She used to be in your band. She used to be one of your musicians. She wasn't there for very long, and it was just when you were starting out. But she knew you back when you were in that scene.
Oh.
And she says,
band back together.
"It's a little odd. I feel I am recognizing you from somewhere, but I can't quite place it." And she totally can. She is implying that she does know who the heck you are. She's just reminding you that you might actually know who she is. So what I am doing here is reminding you of putting Penny in a spot of reminding her of her past rather.
Yeah. You said she wasn't around for long, so she wouldn't have been. She might have heard of what happened, but she wasn't there for it.
Happy time zone to you as well, Ellie B. How are you, my dear?
So I guess the question is whether Penny is going to lean into the recognition, or if she's gonna.
I mean, if you've got this connection, you might be able to sort of get a little bit more out of her. She goes, "Don't you move in different circles than this?" Sorry, that's not her accent at all. "Do not you move in more different circles than this?"
Well, speaking of terrible accents, I don't know what that was. Well, I guess you could say I've always found it useful to make friends on all kinds of places. Wouldn't you think that's I'd say that's a clever way to live, wouldn't you?
Oh, absolutely. That is why I'm here.
So, you didn't answer my question, though.
What was the question, sorry?
We've lost it completely. I used the figure out a person to slightly bend the what are your feelings towards blank to see what was her read on the Van. Sorry, I've lost the other half of the name. Van. The rich lady? Van something?
Oh, yeah,
Rushman?
right. Van Rushman.
Van Rushman.
The Van Rushman lady. Oh, she is just like all the others.
You think?
Yeah, I don't think there's a huge amount going on behind the scenes, other than, all the politics that they have. But she doesn't jump out to me as particularly special. She is holding something back, Malaika.
Do I remember her name?
Ooh. Yes. Marcia.
Okay.
Damn.
She says she seems just like the others.
Do you need more time?
No,
Well, we'll do
2
something
seconds. 2 seconds, just to. I think I am going to influence her with a string.
Ooh.
So I reach out and place my hand on her wrist and be like, come now, Marcia. You know you could never play coy with me. What you had?
Ooh. All right. Influence with a string. Gaslight, cake, keep, girl boss. Exactly.
Hey.
Cool. So let's just examine that, shall we?
Yes, let's. I'm literally here like, I pressed the red button. I have no idea what it does, but let's see.
Yeah,
Let's
absolutely.
find out.
So you're influencing with a string. Offer them to. Ooh, okay.
Dog out.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I think you're still trying to I think you are trying to I think this is a daring. This is a daring roll. And you get a +1 for influencing them. You have established, I would say you have a string on this person because of your past, of your history with them. So yeah, if you're trying to sort of more like pump them for information, like use their own backstory against them as well, this is definitely a forcefulness. So roll me daring, I think.
What is my daring?
You gotta have something that you
I got a 1! I got a whole 1 in daring. I'm excited. Okay.
Yay.
It's let's see. Oh, come on now. Okay. So I got 2 2s, so I got a 5. A 5.
Rough.
You haven't screamed at your dice today, and that's the
No,
problem.
I haven't.
trick.
I didn't feel like hurling abuse at the die just yet, but I might have to resort to that.
Did you add those 2 points to your abilities?
Yeah, my daring point is a 1. So I got 2 2s and a 1, so it is a whole.
Anytime spend a string on someone to do one of the following. Offer them, find out what it will take for them to get them to do what you want. Oh! Sorry, if you're using a string, it just sort of does.
Sweet!
Find out what it will take for them to do what you want. She would say she wouldn't answer your question. She would instead, however, say, look, Penny, as old friends, I should say I have been paid quite well to keep my mouth shut. It would be unwise of me to go against that unless there was some other sort of motivation. You know me, I know you. I don't want to play against player, but unless there was something in it for me, I don't think I could probably, blabbermouths don't get repeated custom,
Fair is fair. I know the rules of the game, even though I left it.
I suppose that was out of character.
Yes, that was out of character. That was Mercy.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, Malaika.
I thought that
too
was
many names.
Yeah, I know, right? Shall we jump back over to Claudia, Charlie, and Rosella and see what they're up to for a minute?
Sure.
What are you guys up to? You're in the main auditorium. You've just witnessed Maria talking to the thin air for probably the 3rd or 4th time in your entire time you've known her. It's always a little weird, a little spooky. The room went cold while it was happening. There was a definite chill in the air. Oddly, not dissimilar to my current situation. So yeah, what are Charlie, Claudia, and Rosella doing?
I think Rosella is now. She's heard one side of a conversation, and she's sort of standing there, finger and thumb on her chin, stroking an invisible a beard that is not there right now, trying to determine what the hell is going on.
Very well.
Just trying to puzzle it out from one side of the conversation.
Oh, Maria's conversation. Very well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Rosella.
Why do I
This is-
picture Charlie just climbing the walls in the background?
Well, oh, yeah,
Just for fun.
so Charlie's actually just checking out the seats and seeing how comfortable the seats are, and just like,
Very.
I wish the stadium seats were like this comfy. Oh, watching a baseball match. So
Charlie,
good.
the seats are more comfortable progressively closer to the stage.
As she gets closer, she just says, "Claudia, look, they got cushions."
Yes, I know. That's normal, Charlie. That's normal.
Oh, I can sit here all day.
Goddamn
Claudia will
dugout
turn
bench.
to the director and say, "I'm sorry. They are like method detectives. They have their own strategies.
Oh, of course.
But I was curious about something. So the piano.
Hmm.
Do you know any idea why anyone would steal that?"
Well, it was 350 years old. It was extremely valuable. Created by one of the old masters.
And I assume very difficult to pawn as well.
I imagine anything like that, you find the right buyer, anybody could. It's you'd probably struggle to get what it was really worth if it was stolen, but you could still get a significant quantity for it. And these things, they'll always show up eventually, but I happen to know that the owner was very upset, and I sympathize.
Who's the owner?
The pianist in question, an Orcish master. He was really quite. His playing was divine. I did write the name down. Here we go. Garg Twinklefingers. I know the Garg Twinklefingers.
Yes. The Twinkle Fingers. It's amazing. Yeah. So, did Lady von Rushman, get invited to this particular concert?
I believe she was.
I suppose
here,
you
yes.
were. I suppose you were glad handing with people as one does for these events.
I was, of course, yes. I believe Lady Rushman was here. I do recall having a conversation with her shortly before it all went missing. But the last I saw her, she was. She would have been in the foyer.
And that was when
Do you
the
have a
lights.
suspect?
I don't kiss and tell, my dear. But something happened right before the piano disappeared.
The lights very strangely went out. Yes.
And does that happen often, or was that one in a lifetime
They
situation?
shouldn't have. We don't know exactly what caused it. The lights shouldn't have gone out, but the power to the entire building was cut for a short time.
What did the local electrician say?
That someone flipped the breaker switch. There appeared to be no permanent damage, but if it all happened simultaneously, then I would imagine there was more than one culprit.
Yes, I suppose. Well, since we're talking about suspects, was there anyone who ever took special interest in this grand piano?
Well, it's a very valuable piece. There was an awful lot of people. Any music lover of significant worth and note would be interested in this item. Though you really have to be a master like Twinklefingers to get the true benefit out of it.
Yes. What a master of fingers. But I was curious.
It would be nice to have somebody as skillful with their fingers as Garg to play instruments.
Yes. And What's your take on Lady Rushman? She hired us for this, and well, we don't want to disappoint her this evening at the charity, but
Oh, I
there's a lot of
see.
unknowns here.
There is. In what way do you mean my take on Lady Rushman? I wouldn't take her anywhere.
Well, I suppose many people would be gladly taking you somewhere, but you seem like a very discerning person, and I'm trying to make a move on her.
Okay.
I'm trying
what are you
to
trying
like
to do? Entice? Sounds like entice.
Yeah.
well, what does entice take? What
You
kind
gain
of,
a string on them, and you appeal to someone's physical or emotional sensibilities.
Yes, but like, what is the modifier I would be using for entice? Shit. That's my 0. Okay. Can I propose something
You
else
absolutely may.
instead of heart?
Yeah.
Okay. So I would like to appeal to her sense of belonging with the higher circles, even if she doesn't. I would like to
Ooh.
use grace and trying to like make her confide in me as if she's an expert in these things because she sees the
All right.
posh crowd.
I will allow an entice with grace instead. Yeah.
Okay, so that's 2d6 plus my grace.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, that's pretty fucking good. That's +1. That's 11. 2 5s.
Oh, wow. Very nice. So you gain a string on them, and they choose one of the next 3. They either get flustered and awkward, they promise to something they think you want, or they give in to desire. I think in this case they will give in to desire, but it is the desire to be considered part of your social circle and a bit of a social, not equal exactly, but be a dommy mummy with grace. Curious. Well, yeah, absolutely. I think that was the entire character build, Bishop Blood. Yes, she is just desperate to be considered an equal, or at least even close to it, to Claudia. And so she says, "What was the original question?"
The original question is any knowledge he has on Rushmore, any like connection to like the things that going on.
Well, of course, Lady Rushman has her yearly events. I even went last year. It was really quite fabulous. Her charity auctions, of course, the prices tend to be a little bit beyond me, but I do enjoy the invitation. Spending time in that such a rarefied company is always an art form in and of itself, as you, of course, know. Lady Rushman, her events are always the height of the social season, and well, I hear this year's is going to be particularly exciting, with the artwork by Mr. Swords. How exciting! I hear it's divine. Yeah, you have a string on them, so you can utilize that string to manipulate them, if you like.
I have a question. I don't
Mhm.
know if the string would allow me to do this, but I suppose I'll present it and you tell me how this plays.
Sure.
And I'll say, well, as my station allows me, I have a +1 to go to any charity events of this kind. I would be curious to see you, show off your charm and skill of conversation with the rest of us there. Fergasonn doesn't count. Don't look at the little gobble next to me. So I would be very much curious to see how you fare later today, probably with a beautiful dress on you as well. And if perchance you can, pay a bit closer attention to Lady Rushmore during that evening, I would be delighted to know what your perceptive eyes can see.
Ooh.
Essentially, I want to enlist her as my little spy for the evening.
Sure.
I like that.
I think this is influencing with a string. And I think what it is offering them offering something to get them to do something. So like that's definitely, but they're an NPC, so they're not. You're not offering them XP, but yeah, you are paying your string to get her to do something. So yeah, you have enticed her into coming along with you this evening to be your little spy. I like it. Yeah, cool. Absolutely, that is what you do. What are Rosella and Charlie doing during this time? Rosella has observed Maria doing her thing. I don't know what Rosella makes of it.
I'm not sure. She's the newest one to the group. I'm not sure she'd ever seen it before.
Yeah, right. Okay. In which case, yeah. What do you make of it? What does Rosella... this was a question I was going to ask before, actually. In the Kingdom of Heteronormia, I feel like, and Terris, you're welcome to tell me otherwise, that magic is fairly unusual.
I think so, yes.
Hmm.
If one has magic, I think it would be frowned upon to use it, so it is often repressed.
Yes, absolutely. Hey, Tony, good to see you back. How was your
So... Oh, sorry.
keep
and
forgetting to
Toxic
boo
Chuck,
this.
thank you very much for the follow, you bloody champion. Avast, matey, you wee scallywag.
My aim with sentences is with comments is so good. I was trying to answer Tony and I pinned the message.
Yeah.
So that's me.
I did wonder. I was like, oh, yeah, she's using her mod swords for good. Okay. Yeah.
Listen, there's those tiny little thingies, okay? And I'm blind.
That's
so.
fine. So, yeah, Terris, what did you do? How do you react to this magic?
I think Rosella, who has not had much experience with magic, understands that it should be repressed. At least believes that Heteronormia believes magic should be repressed because it is not the done thing. Is utterly enthralled.
Right, okay. Would this constitute flying in the face of one of your convictions?
One of her convictions or one of the commandments?
That's the one, yeah.
I think so. I think she's breaking away from that at the moment. She is utterly enraptured by this whole process, this whole magic thing. She felt the air cool and her eyes lit up, and she's sort of side-eyeing Maria right now.
Very well. Then I will give you a point of experience for breaking your commandment, but I would like to see how it plays out. How do you roleplay it?
So she sees this and she's enthralled. She brings her hands to her lips for a moment, like sort of almost feeling like she should repress her natural urge. Then she just sort of shakes herself out of it, and her hands come down and sort of clasp themselves in front of her, and she's just going to say to Maria, "That was amazing," as her eyes light up.
Maria's seemingly just realizing that shit, people were around me. Just thank you. I should return this. And she's gonna jump up to her feet and just try to find the usher that brought her the bowl.
Yep. Cool. Love it.
I think I'll crochet her a nice hat.
Express yourself exclusively in knitwear.
Yes.
Yes.
What is Charlie doing during all of this?
But Charlie comes back to where everyone is, and she's carrying 4 cushions. And she's like, "So I noticed it got a bit chilly before. So here are some warm peach cushions." And she gives one to She's giving one to Penny. No, not Penny. Sorry, Claudia.
Everybody
one
other than
to
Penny.
everyone else but Penny. And so what it is it's a memory foam cushion that's been sat in, and it's got like a perfect curvature of her peach butt.
Nice.
And that's why
Did
it's
you just
warm.
steal 4 cushions?
I mean, these are warm peach cushions because it was cold, and
I mean, good ass, obviously, but Charlie,
thank you. I was working out today.
that's all you got out of this. Lovely.
Oh. She's taking a leaf out of the Gentry's book. The Gentry don't steal; they simply take gifts.
Yeah, take what is owed. I paid for this seat. I'm taking it. Penny, back to you quickly. Talking to Marcia, you have found out that if you want to get any information out of her, she probably does possess some, but she's been paid to keep stum.
Well, I mean, Penny can't beat other people in terms of money, because frankly, none of them, aside potentially Claudia, which is really the work of her manservant, are very wealthy.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Unless you try a different tack.
Yeah, I'm think could she goad it out of her, or be like, What can she bluff?
Ooh. Bluffing. Cleverness and knowledge?
I'm trying to
That would
throw
be wit.
these. They've all got names. They've all got fancy names, and I'm trying to find them.
Daria sighs, adds cushion with Charlie's butt imprint to the infantry.
Amazing. We haven't enticed. We've already figured out a person. Influence with a string.
You don't have any more strings on her.
I don't. No. No, I'm not smitten with her.
No.
No.
Nor
The
she with
derision
you.
in that. I'm not smitten with her.
No.
No.
This
listen.
one. Oh.
Listen. They were colleagues. They were colleagues. Maybe
And they were roommates.
Yes, and they were roommates. No, maybe Penny was kind of nice to her because she was nicer than the rest of them, and a bit more gullible back then. But if anything, being like kind-hearted is a liability in her old line of work, so that isn't always gonna.
Yeah.
But
also, I'm sorry, Malaika, you have an experience point because you've rolled a downbeat, and anybody else who has rolled a downbeat as well also has one. But I definitely remember Malaika has an XP.
I'm sorry for being successful, I guess.
Don't worry, it just means you're already good enough.
I have ticked my experience point. Cool. All right, so can she get the information?
When you are fighting with somebody, it doesn't have to be physical as well.
Yeah.
If you're wanting to engage in combat, you can do it verbally, and it would be a fight check, which is daring or grace. You can engage with her in combat, trying to get her to give you what you want.
Okay, grace. Because that's got my lone number 2 in there. So
yeah,
I gotta use my grace.
Sure.
And what combat? Now I gotta scroll up to
danger
combat.
moves. It's called. Fight.
Fight.
Ooh.
Ooh. Ooh. Take an object from your opponent or seize a superior position.
Flirt with or provoke your opponent and to gain a string on them. Through violence or cutting words, inflict a condition. Create an opportunity for an ally through prowess or distraction. Take an object from your opponent or seize a superior position. Yeah, the one I was thinking was really inflict a condition or
through violence or cutting words and inflict a condition.
Yeah. Make them frightened of you to do what you want, to do what you tell them. Or take something from your opponent, which could be information.
Take an object from your opponent or seize
but you must
superior.
first roll the dice.
Okay, I'm gonna roll the dice.
Malaika is rolling the most dice and doing the worst.
Yeah, I know. Oh, right, I gotta do the ritual.
Rule of large numbers. You're gonna get one
dice.
eventually.
You can do it.
Okay, I got a 4 and...
Well, 4's pretty good. 4's alright.
A 4 and a 6!
Yeah!
Wow. Plus 2, that's 12.
Yes! I got 12! Okay. What is it? Oh, I choose 3.
So you can choose 3 of those things. You can flirt with and provoke the opponent to gain a string on them. So you can gain a string. You can cut through cutting words, inflict a condition on her, and also create an opportunity or take the information you want from her.
I think we're gonna we're gonna flirt to gain a string.
Flirt and provoke.
We're gonna flirt. We're also gonna seize a superior position.
Very well.
And what's the third one?
Oh.
And gain that information you want to gain.
Yeah, create an opportunity through prowess. Yep. Okay, so how's she gonna do
what
this?
do you do? What do you say?
All right. All right, so looking Marsha in the eye, she's still got her hand sort of leaned forward and is resting on. So Marsha, who was like doing the whole cleaning glass or whatever,
had leaned in.
Busy work. So I've leaned forward and hand is on her wrist to stop her from cleaning the glass, and she simply raises her fingers and starts to stroke her wrist and says very gently, "Oh, Marsha, haven't we moved up in the world? Look at all these people paying you to keep your lips shut. Seems you learned a lesson or two since we last crossed paths." And to seize a superior position, she goes, I remember back in the day before I walked away from our honored line of work, the positions were quite reversed. More than once or twice I had to keep my lips sealed to make sure that you didn't end up with your throat cut.
Ooh.
Nice.
Going in.
And then Nasha, who kind of, I guess, is like, done a bit of a comedic gulp swallow. And then she leans in. So, we both know that I'm perfectly capable of keeping my mouth shut when necessary. So why don't you share a little bit of that info for old time's sake? And leaning back.
Yep.
She's now holding the glass.
Nice touch.
Oh, okay. So I think you have inflicted the condition frightened on her. which and she will do one back to you. Nobody comes out of combat unscathed in this, and she will say, "You will never be allowed to make another call on our past relationship on me again. Not take it from you, but I will share this one time. Past relationships be damned. I was paid. Leave the loading dock unlocked. I know not by who. It was anonymous."
Good girl, Marsha. Always so nice to be able to call on old friends for a favor or two. And she puts down the glass and sort of casually saunters away towards the main room, making sure to keep her pace low because she's like, I don't want to show the
So she is going to inflict a condition upon you.
Okay, what's that?
As you turn to leave, she says, "What was the name of the leader of the gang?"
Gemini.
Gemini. She says, "You know, Gemini has been looking for you."
She pauses. It's only for a split second, but because Marsha is watching her, she notices it, and that pisses her off a bit. That she was unable to stop herself from having a physical reaction.
Would you say you are angry or frightened? This threat to it is a tiny little bit of a threat of, I could tell Gemini where you are.
That's I think she's angry. She's more angry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
And so
Are we the baddies?
she turns back, and with like a smile and in a too casual tone is like, I'm right here. And then turns away and like fights the urge to like stomp out of the place and walks back.
How dare.
Love it. Very nice. Cool. Yeah. You head up to join the others. Do any of you want to continue this tete with Daria has acquired a new minion. Maria has acquired a condition from talking to a fairy. Charlie has acquired a pile of cushions. And Rosella is super stoked about seeing magic for like the first time.
There's one thing that I want to remind you. I hate that I would do that, but you said there would be something bad happening in the main hall.
You are correct. Yes, absolutely. Actually, Rosella, as you are watching Maria, performing this magic, a little bit of this magic leaks out. And it's as Maria's eyes are sort of following the fairy that you can't see. There are loads of plant pots in the auditorium. Very ornamental, but like, yeah. They all, as the fairy goes around, they all just expand. And it's actually, to you, Rosella, it looks like Maria is casting plant growth or something similar, as all of these plants burst into bloom and become extremely, like, the next time people sit in here, they will be struggling to see. There are now a lot of restricted vision seats in the auditorium because of these huge plants in these. Yeah, someone's going to have to come in and trim all of this.
Feed me, Seymour.
Yeah, exactly. Not quite that big, but pretty big. Yeah. So that's what it looks like Maria is doing, Rosella, which is, but it's not. And I don't think Maria knows that.
No.
People are assuming that she's casting plant growth, not talking to the fairy. Also, you are still talking to something.
Yep.
Thank you very much for pointing that out, Daria. It wasn't that bad, was it? That was fine. It was, yeah. It was all plants within 100 feet of you grow radically. In an urban setting, you're fine.
I assume some of these plants have flowered at this
Oh,
point?
absolutely. Yes.
Yes, Rosella is going to pluck a few and make like an oversized flower crown. Or
Very
a
well.
flower crown out of oversized flowers and just plop it on her head.
That actually fits really well with the move I was looking at making at the gala instead. It says Eerie Companion. The companion grants you +1 to these moves, but assistance is always obvious and alarming to ordinary people.
That's amazing description right there.
I love it.
Yes.
So, does anybody have anything else they would like to do here? Nope. Excellent. All right. You've uncovered most of the information that there was to uncover, and you have acquired yourself a minion. She is very keen. She's excited. She has a dress all picked out and everything already, and she will meet Claudia there.
Can you remind me for a second what's her name? Because I have Camilla Fahrenheit, and I don't think that's real.
Fuentes. Andrea Fuentes.
Not even
You
close.
see-
Cool.
You see, I intended the name to be Spanish, right?
Well, she clearly is. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
From the voice,
yeah. So yeah, Andrea Fuentes will meet you at the gala this evening. You've still got several hours, at least 3 or 4 before you need to go and get ready. Would you like to go and check out the College of Fine Arts as well? And
Why
also,
not?
Penny comes back in as Andrea is going away to get ready, all very excited, sort of wrap up for the day and leave her subordinates in charge. She comes. So Penny comes back in.
And relays to the others the information that
Right.
she
So
received.
before we go to anywhere else, right? Let's put all of our information together, right? So, lovely Penny knows now that the docks, the loading dock was open on purpose.
Left
Yes?
open. Staff were paid to keep their mouths shut, so somebody with a little pretty pinch of cash is involved, but that hardly
Right.
narrows things down.
We also know that the circuit breaker was flipped at the same time as someone was stealing the piano.
Would hardly
And-
surprise me if some other staff might have gotten their pockets lined to do that kind of thing.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm thinking as well. And Maria, your thing, it is...
Yes. So the piano was not removed until after the show. Several hours afterwards. I imagine some form of magic to hide objects was used, but well, I'm not sure if that helps. But the piano was moved afterwards.
Yes, very, very helpful information. And Rosie got a flower crown, and Charlie stole some couch cushions. Lovely. Is there anything we're missing?
There was, yes, apparently the von Rushmans are connected to this somehow. I'm not entirely sure how, but they are connected.
See. Well, shall we swing by the art gallery then?
Yes,
I'd
we
say
should.
so.
Yeah, guess we should dug our heads in.
Righty, splendid. At this point, we've been going for 3 hours. We are obviously nowhere near the conclusion of the adventure I have written.
Who's surprised? No one.
Me? No.
I am shocked.
No.
So I suppose the
Expected
Do
this
you-
to clip
do you
along in a
remember when
timely
we-
fashion.
Yeah, we had one session stretch into 4 weeks of play one time.
It was 3. It was 3. Don't
Okay.
you? And that was Tony running that.
And it was very
Tony
similar
running.
to this.
It was a similar cast, and Tony was running a similar game. Actually, come to think of it, look, given past history, and look, all things are clear in the rearview mirror. Is that a saying? I don't know, but yeah, no, it's been a blast, and we're all learning a brand new system as well as part of the trick, which was also a system, similar deal when Tony was teaching us Mutant Chronicles. Except for that one, they had a not blind person leading them. So yeah, guys, it's been super fun. Are you? Is anybody free Tuesday next week?
I should be.
Yes. I think that's finally when my roster changes and I won't be working Wednesday. So I can do it.
Yay!
Yeah.
Now Donna is looking like,
I do have
Can I do
classes for
Tuesday?
the next 3 weeks during the weekday,
Mhm.
but that's during the day, and I only need 4 hours of sleep, so I should be fine.
It does.
Ooh,
I've been
no, I'm
always.
free.
I've always been curious about how you do all the things you do, Terris. But the 4 hours of sleep does make a lot of sense because, yeah, Terris has so many things that they do in their life. Well, guys, it's been an absolute pleasure. I suppose we'll call it there for the evening then. Thank you so much for playing with me this evening. What do we think of the new system?
I love it.
It's fun.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
I got
Yeah.
an experience point. I am happy.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I'm wanting to get Charlie to do more stuff next time. Charlie, I was just like, I almost think that providing cushions for everybody. In fact, let's have a roll for it because Charlie, I think that would be constituted as offering emotional support.
It is. It is. Yes.
Especially
well.
since it came with her personalized butt print. I think
Absolutely.
Emotional support
It's
Yes.
department. Yeah.
It's like, yeah, you know when you bring someone sad, you bring them like a chocolate cake or
Hmm.
anything. This is like a cake just in a.
So you can
Yeah.
roll either heart or spirit. This is to provide emotional support to Ardanna.
Cool. I'm just gonna do heart since my spirit's -1, so we're not gonna do.
Charlie's like himbo but female. Himbetta? Is
Yeah.
that something?
I
Shimbo.
think it's a bimbo,
Shimbo.
guys, for crying out loud. Bimbo
No,
is a
that's
word
different.
that exists.
Turbo? No, I believe it's Shimbo. Like it's in
Shimbo.
the phrase is in Thirsty Sword Lesbians the book. It's actually in the scoundrel description.
Oh.
A Shimbo pirate queen. And I was just like, that makes sense. All right, how did you do, Gio?
10.
10.
All the 10. Yeah.
Very nice. They open up to you. You choose one, and they choose one, and you either choose one or take a string on them. So you can either gain a string on Maria, or you can add something. So Ardanna can choose to clear a condition, mark another experience point. Gain a +1 forward, which basically gives you a +1 to the next roll you make, or gain insight from the GM about an obstacle facing you.
Oh, that's difficult. Ah.
And you can either choose to give one to them or a string on them.
I've remembered suddenly that I had inspiration all this time. Does it
You
carry
do.
on to the next session?
Yeah.
Nice.
I'll put the
Yay.
little symbol above you.
I'll just clear the condition.
Clear the condition? Yeah.
I'll be
Alrighty.
clearing the condition. Yeah.
Ah, you bloody champion. So,
That makes
yes.
sense.
Epic.
Cuddling Charlie's butt print makes you feel less frightened, less insecure, Maria.
Yeah.
I know it would me. And what do you do? Do you get a +1 forward, a mark an XP, or gain some insight from the GM? The GM being the gay master in this setting, which I hecking love.
Oh, cat
Oh, she's a
people
pretty
love
cat. Yeah, there's a lot of cat folks.
No.
it. It's great.
Terris isn't everything, folks.
Mostly ferrets, but also everything else.
How many dogs are in the
It's-
room with you right now?
2.
Yeah,
And
there you go.
3 cats and 4 mice.
Okay, so the dice said gain insight from the GM about an obstacle facing one of you.
Very well. An obstacle facing one of you. Which one would you like? What obstacle? The obstacle that you're all trying to overcome, or something more personal? Here's a question. Does everybody know about Rosella's past?
I think we established that now.
No one
right?
knows. No one
No
does.
one knows. Right. Cool.
Yep.
So that's not useful. So we can't do that.
No. An obstacle facing Charlie.
Ooh, okay. An obstacle facing Charlie would definitely be their troubled past, their relationship with their brother, I think. And yeah, it was Charlie I was thinking of when I was talking about Penny's brother. Yes. So I think we should role play this scene out before we close it all off. When Charlie presents the butt pillow to Maria to sort of help her feel better. So I would say, Charlie, that you notice that Maria is not... she's looking a little shaken as she hands the bowl of water. I'd say Rosella takes the bowl of water and gives it back to one of the ushers, and Charlie goes over and sort of offers some emotional support.
Yeah.
Seeing as yours.
Yep.
So, sometimes when I talk to my own imaginary friends, I like to hug my own pillows. It makes me feel a bit better. Here's a cake pillow.
Yes. It is a cake pill. Well, I really wish they were imaginary. Yes. Maria takes the pillow and just holds it. And, well, is there anything you need to get off your chest? I can listen too.
If we're gonna, how you're gonna help me with the clothing later? Can we have something that covers the back? I'm not
definitely
comfortable showing my shoulders. And like she'll start like rubbing her like shoulder blades, and there's a particular reason for that, but yes.
Yep.
Ooh.
Oh,
This very much feels like a string situation. This very much feels like Maria has a string on Charlie. I think that's what that manifests as, to be honest.
Okay.
sure.
That's cool. Yeah, I think that'll be cool. But yeah, it's it's like she rubs like her the back of her shoulder blade and sort of like moves her shoulder as though it's like from like a painful thing. Like that body language, yeah.
You would see Maria's eyes just narrow slightly, and then she just gives you a nod, and I absolutely have something that can cover that. No worries.
And whispering in your ear, Maria, you hear the voice of the Fae from before.
Mm-hmm.
This one has a bad big brother. One that means her no good. And he is coming.
Interesting. Again, she just nods quickly once and files that away for later.
There you go. I would say that, yeah, Maria has a string and has gained a little bit of information, seeding things for possible future narratives. Why not?
Ooh, yes, please.
Yeah. Who doesn't love more RPGs? Guys, thank you so much for playing with me this evening. Thank you to our wonderful donations. We will keep the donation tracker going, and we'll leave the giveaways open as well for a week. See if we can raise a little bit more money for the Trevor Project. But thank you to everybody who donated so far. And now we're going to do what we like to do at the end of our stream. So I have a quick round of favorite moments. So go quickly around the screen, and we will. We have our way of doing it, don't we? Can we have an exclamation mark roll space the number 6 in chat, please?
Is it a lightning round with one per person, or
let's go for just a couple. We are on Malaika first. Number 5, and Tony then rolled a 6. So we'll have Malaika and Geo, our 2 occasional guests, as opposed to the more common ones that happen semi-regularly. In fact, Daria is the only channel regular here. Honestly, Ardanna's been here more than Daria over the last couple of weeks.
I need to step up my game.
Dead set, what the fuck?
Yes.
Okay. So, let's talk about Malaika first. Who has some favorite Malaika moments?
I do.
Go for it.
I liked that when Penny was threatened, she became angry at herself for reacting. That was interesting.
Very cool.
She's like, I hate that I gave in for just a millisecond. That was good.
My favorite was just at the start. Just that little, well, I'm gonna take their bike. It's mine now.
Fine with that. Yeah. I really liked, I had in my head the way I would play out that opening scene of where are you when the phone goes off, and I love that Malaika was the one who did it. Malaika was the one that was like, hey, you and I. I was just like, I wake up, tousle haired, the phone going off. It's like, I gotta go, I got to get to work, one night stand person, bye-bye. Yeah.
And I'm gonna steal your bike.
Tony says my favorite Malaika moment is simply that she is here playing again. Tony loves seeing Malaika, and that's absolutely fair. I agree completely. I'm very happy to have it too.
I also very much like playing with Malaika. She's so nice.
I love playing with all of you guys. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Yes.
No shade on any of you. Really happy to have Geo back as well.
Thank you.
I'm totally gonna try and rope Geo into one of my campaigns. So.
Happening.
Yes.
Well,
happily as tribute. I liked the moment with Penny. We're doing Malaika and Penny.
Yeah.
Has to be the moment where you're like, what is this person's name? And then like your tone shift of going from like, I'm gonna be like flirty, and it's like, no bitch, I know your name, so you know what, let's get real. And it's just like at that moment it was just like, yes, I'm in popcorn.
Stolen moment.
Waited too long.
Stolen.
That's okay. We are trying to have a quick one, so if you had the same moment, Terris, that's absolutely fine. Malaika, did you have any favorite self?
I not to toot my own horn too much, but coming up with like the whole flirting and threatening, like that entire conversation where she takes it to like, you might know who I am, or you might think you know who I am, and also the impression, because she's gotten out of the life, people think that she's lost her edge and that she's weak. So it's especially the story of how she left the life. So it was almost a reminder of like, do not forget who the fuck I am, and do not forget all the times that it's the definition of don't mistake my kindness for weakness. Yeah. Because I think part of the reason why people turned on her is because she stuck her neck out for other people, and she's like, don't you fucking forget that I kept you alive.
Yeah.
And reminding them of that. And that sort of reminds Marcia, intimidated her enough, Marcia, that she gave up the intel. So it worked either way. Yeah. And the anger, sneaking another one in there, the fact that she's still angry at Gemini, I think indicates that she still cares, which is what pisses herself off the most.
It was very, very cool piece of acting. I really enjoyed it.
Yes, it was great.
Oh, thank you.
Alrighty, let's talk about Geo then. Favorite Geo moments, everybody.
The Shimbo, like, sweet and short-sighted character is lovely.
Yes.
I liked the peppering of not understanding the double entendres or like metaphors. It's like such a Shimbo moment. It was great.
Yeah, that one honey moment.
I loved the shouting. Just
amazing.
shouting.
Amazing.
I was like,
Yeah. Where's my sports bra?
I loved kind of that the shouting was at Penny, which sort of indicates I look forward to building that relationship more, that Penny's protectiveness has like extended to Charlie in that way. Charlie's just so pure.
Rosella is innocent, Charlie is pure.
I have to say the climbing boots.
The climbing.
Just out of left field. Just oh my god, yes. Just I'm going to bring these with me.
My favorite bit, it's a toss up that I had too. I really enjoyed the gym. I was like, oh, okay, wow, gym junkie. But also, I'm really glad I pushed for that final end scene. Something with covered shoulders. The line "something with covered shoulders" was very cool, very powerful. I'm like, ooh, I am curious now because I know nothing of these people's backstories beyond the vague conversation that we had. Like, and of Malaika and Geo, we didn't have a session 0, so I don't know shit about them. We have a little bit about Rosella, Claudia, and Maria, but I don't know a damn thing about Malaika and Geo. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad. I've got something cooking for that part. There's a reason.
It's very cool. Favorite self?
The cushions. It's just had to be like there was 2 ways I was going to go.
Geo silly.
There was 2 ways I was planning on thinking of going down with it. Something to do with the stage that would have tied with the backstory, but I didn't know if like that would make sense just because I kind of want to look at the whole roles and really looking more into Infamous. So then it just like went, you know what? I'm gonna be her sweetheart. Like she's a sweetheart. So it was cold. She's noticed that Maria was feeling a little bit So it's like here's a cushion because like you know when there was a wording in it when I said like when I talk to my imaginary friends, which is I scream to my own pillows. So. I still got to drop some little hints at something, which is good.
Yeah, love it. All of these people with their dark and broody backstories. Yeah. Alrighty.
I have...
Anybody else?
Not really. I'm just reacting to Bishop Blood's comment in the
Butcher me,
chat.
mummy. Yeah.
Yeah, and Maria in my
Metalhead.
head say, it's just going, yeah, we can arrange that.
Yeah, all right. That's a Daria thing, really. Alrighty, we need a D4 in chat, I think. Yeah, and you'll have to fight Fergus for it. D4, a 1! We're talking about Daria.
Ooh.
Yes. Odds along the top, evens along the bottom. Though I would never call Ardanna myself or Geo odd at all, no.
But I would call myself a top, so go on.
That's fair. Yeah, absolutely. Alrighty, favorite Daria moments.
Oh god.
Too many.
I mean, I'm gonna go in there first off. Fergasonn. Just gotta love him. And particularly the relationship you had with him, particularly the stop being nice to him, you're gonna make him hard to work with. You're gonna make him hard.
Make him hard, that's about it, yeah.
He's gonna, particularly, there was one detail, the nosebleed, from how happy he is. Yeah, Bishop Blood, exactly.
Before anyone else takes it, I feel like the opening was just the perfect setup for like who Claudia was and the fact that she's in the middle of her like million-step billionaire beauty routine. She gets a call to say that she needs to come into work, and then she like absolutely does not rush or anything at all. She's like, well, I'm in the middle of my process, so I'm gonna
It's Saturday morning, I'm not rushing. And
go ahead again.
We have been raided once again. Raiders, thank you so much for joining us.
Hi.
You are catching us, Eldritch Scribe. Des, Delred, how are you guys? Thank you so much for joining us. We have caught us at the end of our stream, but we are, yes, we are in the process of raising money for the Trevor Project. And if you want, you can find the donations link there in chat. And any donation over $5 gets you into the draw to win a copy of Thirsty Sword Lesbians, which is a it's a full-length book. It is we're giving away 2 PDF copies of it. So if you do fancy going into the draw to win that, we will draw that at the end of next week's game, where we finish this adventure. We have been playing, the first adventure of Thirsty Sword Lesbians with this wonderful genderqueer crew, and it's extremely cool and very, very fun. Heartily endorse the system. It's a little bit intimidating to get your head around as a GM, the Game Master, as the game is called. But I think playing it is the only way to figure this one out, and I think we're getting our heads around it. Malaika was certainly swinging wild and playing an awful lot of different moves, and Daria was great for that as well, which I also appreciate the heck out of, because there's nothing more useful than players using the mechanics to get your head around them.
Yes.
I think my favorite Claudia moment was just that little touch of bringing everyone's favorite coffee.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, she didn't make it, obviously.
Obviously.
But yeah, she was like, here, coffee to your liking. Never mind that Fergus actually made it, but you know.
I have to say I really enjoyed the interaction with Claudia and our employer. Just the whole initial interaction there. Seeing them as equals in that moment was quite cool.
Yeah. Very much so. And the mentioning the shade. She's only been widowed once. Amateur.
Yeah.
Yes.
For me, it would be when we got to the concert hall, and it just was like, visually speaking, how Peter in my head just Claudia going leading first. It's just like, move away. This is my thing, and like, it's like pseudo leader without being the leader. It's just like, I'm just my own presence, and we're just like, oh, okay, I guess we're following.
I think in this detective agency, there's probably Maria as like official leader of the group, and Claudia is like more like a Grey Cardinal who, you know, does her thing when she needs to.
Yeah. And everybody has their own sort of, and we've already started seeing it. It was really cool. Penny, the unusual, surprising lone wolf. I was just like, yeah, of course she just goes up, like, split the party, why not? When Karen's not here, Daria's the boss. I'm like, yeah. I mean, one of them's a pope, the other isn't. Like, that's, yeah. It's really cool seeing you guys sort of, figuring out your roles. Very interesting.
But, like, I'm definitely curious to see Claudia if there's ever an element where it's not her comfort zone. That's what it's going. It's like we've established, like Daria did such a good way of establishing this persona, and we've now like seen it in action of a place where she thrives, and it's just like, what would happen if it's the opposite?
Gio,
So
put
cool.
the
I'd love
scissors
to see
down.
Oh, thank you. I didn't even realize.
You're waving the scissors next to your face. I'm like, put the scissors down.
I just love a bit of danger.
Any other favorite Darias? Favorite self?
Well,
For itself. Just giving Fergus a lot of backstory on the spot. And, like the entire thing with baseball.
He was
home
comfortably
run,
the
yeah,
most
better
fleshed
run.
out character in the entire story.
Yeah, he has his own sensory deprivation tank in the penthouse.
I would
he's
die
like,
for Fergus.
I assumed it was a
Yep.
gimp cage, but no, okay, right, yeah.
Ooh.
Under the stairs.
that gets him more exciting. You know?
That's the
It's
problem.
not-
Yeah. Excellent. You good there, Ardanna?
I would die for Fergus, and Rosella would probably go there.
Aw. Interesting.
no, like I've mentioned this before, but I think exclusively in images.
Yeah.
And now I had an
So
image.
now you have a
that
goblin
also-
in a gimp
the-
mask. Yeah.
Yes, with
Yeah.
the ears sticking out.
Yeah.
Mhm. The only holes of the
latex.
gimp suit are ears and mouth,
Yeah.
and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a zip on the mouth. Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Enough of your
Yep.
talking. He
I'm
doesn't
glad
talk
we've
enough.
I'm glad we've shared that. And he can't talk anyway.
Yeah.
It's just frantically signing, please, mistress. Can we have a D3 in chat, please?
I am incapable of rolling anything.
He sure was. Thank you, Tony. That's a 1. That would be Ardanna. Favorite Ardanna moments, everybody.
Dana!
We're doing it in columns. We are working. Yeah, turns out.
Cafe. just the cafe, and then it's just that, like, it was the vibe of seeing your phone, getting the message, and it's just like, oh, like, just no, like, you interrupt me, like, it was brilliant. It was like
She was on her
such
way
a vibe.
home.
After a night out.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Working probably.
So my backstory for that was, but she had been to a fancy cocktail party with a client, was on her way home.
Right.
It's like,
It was just such a vibe, and I loved it. It felt real, like my soul animal.
That's
That
it.
moment.
3 of you haven't slept.
yeah.
Well, you know,
Yep.
Penny maybe. But Rosella and Maria definitely not.
That's fun.
Yeah. I'm really.
Go
Oh,
ahead.
go on.
No, you go ahead.
Okay.
Ladies first.
I am intrigued with Maria's magic. I'm really interested about like the tattoos and also the the whole setup with the ritual. Like she doesn't say, "I'm about to do a ritual, everybody." She's like, "No, can you give me a bowl with ice cold water?" Now that's a setup. Now that's how you build anticipation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dolan.
You let me go first.
You
I'm
need to keep
sorry.
waiting. You need to not keep waiting, Terris.
Be less
Ardanna-
polite, Terris. Don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, this is fun. Adana, favorite self? Or anybody else? Malaika, did you have any?
I was gonna say I did like the description of the tattoos and
Yes.
the fact that she goes to the length of covering it
up.
with body makeup for various situations.
Yeah.
Oh, my jumper's just deciding to disappear at random intervals.
It's just green enough.
Yeah, just green enough. Yeah, it's cool. It's kind of a cool detail about the character that I really liked.
The bone sword? God, take me now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We need a spray bottle for Bishop sometimes.
Yeah, we do.
because this game
He
is enabling his worst sides.
He is Chats Fergus. Yeah. Oh. Karen is making fish for dinner. Fresh caught fish. I'm excited.
Oh,
Nice.
fish.
Well, yeah, my brother-in-law caught them a while back, and Karen doesn't like fish, so this is entirely for me.
Brilliant.
She's a good wife. Can
Wait,
confirm.
are you having the mixed basket?
No, I don't believe there's any mutations on the fish at all. I know Karen would have to tell, but yeah. All right.
I think you want
Ardanna,
to
favorite
switch
self?
Yeah. Favorite self. My mind is blank, but I think I have to say. Talking to Sally at the start.
Yeah. That was what I was going to
Yes.
say as well, actually. I really enjoyed... I've never gotten a chance to flirt with you in character. It was really kind of fun. I was like, ooh, we're flirting! Ooh, I've never done this with Donna before! Yay! Well, with
Like,
Terris all the bloody time and we didn't get a chance today. Tune in Lawrite Friday night for more Terris and me flirting.
Yes.
It will almost certainly
Definitely.
happen.
Oh yeah, it will. Like in real life, I don't know when people are flirting with me. It's part of me being ace. It just shoo. So, and it's like, oh,
But it's nice to be in a situation where you know it's probably happening. Like,
yeah,
yeah.
it's just what? It took my partner a month for me to get that he was flirting with me, and we met every day in class.
Aw.
I'm kind of the opposite insofar as I flirt so well with people that I don't realize I'm doing it, and that's why I have a boyfriend, a girlfriend, and a
Menagerie?
husband.
Collect them like Pokemon. Nice.
He does, yeah.
Gotta catch.
Three's enough.
Say,
That's a
got
different
to
thing.
catch 'em all.
Yeah. That's a different thing. Yeah, and as long as you use protection, you'll be fine. Alrighty.
Yeah, gotta catch them all does not apply to STDs.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
All right. Karen just got that one. That was the joke I was making. Yeah. That was fun. I like that. That's now we know what the lag is. About 6 seconds. All right. All right. Can I have a D2 in chat, please? If we're sticking with the way it's normally been working so far, it should be a 1. It is. Ha! Amazing. Terris, favorite Terris moments, favorite Rosella moments.
Okay. I gotta get in first because I don't want anyone to steal mine. Breasting boobily out of the bar.
Yeah, that was nice.
It's fine. Stay.
Yeah, that's fair. I really liked the your reaction to the magic.
Thank you.
Yeah. And it actually makes me wonder about them, and I have a question for you after we go off stream, because I don't necessarily want to share it with the audience. I want it to be a mystery. I like Rosella being a bit of a mystery. We've given away a little bit about their backstory, but not a lot. Yeah, because it does bring out a question in a world where magic exists. Soothing metal, it exists. I appreciate the representation. I demand to know. Well, Rob, you'll have to stick around for next time. It may well come out eventually. But yeah, just having never seen or having seen very little magic makes me interested in their interest in magic.
Oh yes.
Another moment that was very good, I think, is the start where apparently she didn't even go home. Rosella just stayed, which is very intriguing to me because, like, does she have a home, or is she like afraid to go to her domicile right now? Like, there's a lot of questions, and I like how she's very sweet and nice, but still like very mysterious, because that's difficult to manage, because like when you make mysterious character, there's always like the temptation of, I'm so alone, no one understands me, but that's like a very easy way to go about it, and with Rosella it's more interesting than that.
Yeah.
Well, with Rosella, when she's with her friends, she is home.
Ooh, that's
That's
sweet.
cute.
Aw.
Yeah.
Have to be this pulling out the headphones as you listen to heavy metal.
Yeah.
Damn it,
What
that
for
was my
shame.
backup.
It became the theme of the episode.
It was just so good. Ah.
Yeah, just a gang of lesbian metalheads.
What if
solving crimes.
we all met at a heavy metal concert?
Yeah.
Sure.
And then started a book club. Because the canon is that the detective agency arose out of a book club. But I definitely think
met at a metal
but you met at a metal concert first, and then decided to hang out.
I see absolutely no issues with this. I don't.
Yeah, makes perfect sense to me.
Yeah.
I think metalheads are massively misunderstood. I mean, there's a meme on the thing. I've seen it several times, but a bunch of people have sent it to me this week of the guy who, I believe it's the original person who did the SpongeBob SquarePants jingle, but he's a metal singer, and he's like, okay, guys, I've got a new song coming up for you. You're going to like this one. And then somebody shouts out, is it SpongeBob? And he goes, no, you assholes, it's not SpongeBob. And then he gets sort of peer pressured by the audience into singing the SpongeBob SquarePants theme. Corey Taylor, there you go. That's the one. Thank you, Rob. Yep. This is the thing. I have never seen SpongeBob. I don't know who did it, but I was just like, I enjoy this just for... It's fun. Can it have been at a cattle decapitation concert? Canon plays. Oh, he covered it. Oh, okay. He did a cover. All right. There you go. It's a funny meme.
Yes.
So, favorite Terris moments. I really enjoyed the pulling the floral dress out of a little bag.
Yes.
It feels to me like
Yes.
a bag of yarn holding.
Yes.
And, yeah.
It's a bag that she's
Mary.
actually crocheted herself to keep all her stuff in, but mostly yarn.
Oh, it's the slip
My
knot front man, of
favorite-
course. Yeah. Sorry, yeah.
My favorite Terris moment was just that little detail that Rosella stole the carriage
Yeah.
and then transformed it. And no, what do you mean the horses are painted? Of course they're not painted. They're not paint horses. It's
No,
like
painting animals is bad for it, but you know what's worse for the animal? Removing the old paint. With a blowtorch. Yeah.
oof.
Mm.
Lost too many canaries
Yeah.
that way. I wanted a red one. They do go
Oh,
kind
goodness.
of red. Yeah, any other favorite Terris moments?
Painted the roses red.
Yeah. Oh, Tony, you know me too
Please.
well.
Please do not
Um,
blowtorch your canaries.
Yes, the PSA. Do not blowtorch the canaries. It's edited in the
And-
zoos.
And if you want them red, you need to actually feed them something specific, I believe.
Oh, really? There you
Yeah.
go. Terris with the real knowledge, me with the silly jokes. What was the other one that I really liked? There was another Terris bit that I really liked. Oh, yeah. Given what we know and the audience doesn't, I was kind of interested in the coming out topless.
Yes.
Mhm.
That was
Yes.
just an interesting little detail. Was quite clever. Quite well thought out. Favorite self?
Oh, I think you stole it, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
My bad.
Breasting boobily.
Yeah,
Yeah, ball topless.
yeah.
Just out and Nelly killing poor Fergasonn.
It's okay. I'm fine. I'm fine.
The only times he had seen a naked breast before is in his little drawings on a napkin he stole from the dinner table. Okay,
It's upsettingly
This
good
is
though.
too much.
They're like
Yeah.
he is a genius.
He's good at everything, and
Yeah.
yet he's like a digital sub that like lives
Yeah.
on crumbs of attention.
And
is-
all
Yeah.
No, okay, I'll say that the thing that my favorite moment for Rosella is always being kind to Fergus.
Yeah, that was cute. All right, well, we should go away from here now because we've been streaming for a gosh darn while, but we will do favorite DM moments.
Okay, okay. I have
The
one.
broom.
The broom.
Uh,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Magda with the broom.
Magda with the broom. Here you go, guys.
Just
Come on.
ushering-
Get working.
Just Magda's voice in general. Of course she says toots. Of course she says
Toots.
toots.
Yeah, of course.
Guts.
Yeah.
The addition of Flotsam and Jetsam.
Thank you. Yes. I had to
Nice.
Google what they were called because I didn't want to be too obvious with the reference. I didn't want to call her Ursula. But the long black dress obviously has several
Yeah.
tails. Yeah.
That's cool.
I love it.
My little dog is shivering. Are you too cold? Are you cold?
Is she too cold or is she just shaking for attention?
No, she doesn't normally shake. She's not a shiver.
Aw, baby.
Carlos
Yeah.
is.
It's also very cold.
It is.
Oh,
freaking
and
cold.
I'd point
It's
out
6
for everybody
degrees.
who hasn't seen my little dog, because he's currently long-haired, I usually keep him short. They almost look like twins, only Carlos is grey, and
Yeah.
Siri is black.
She's going grey. She's got the schnauzer in her, so she will go grey eventually.
Yeah.
If you want to see pictures of Carlos, you can check him out in our Discord in the pet section. If you scroll up far enough, you'll definitely find pictures of Carlos, Spicy Wiener.
Nice segue.
Okay.
yes.
Favorite DM moment. I'm interrupting you so you cannot get away from it.
It's been here too long, she knows.
Just long enough. I think your performances in general, and I may be stealing some because I can't pick a favorite performance because I've now got, thanks to Daria, I've got Rushmore in my head, even though I know that's not her name.
Rushman.
Von Rushman, the performance of Marsha, and especially I like the performance of like the little fae creature that came out of the bowl. That was fun. Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
I think for me, the favorite DM moment is when you started introducing the flirting side of things. Because, like, for me, in all tabletop role-playing games I've played, that's, like, the first time I've actually introduced to that kind of tone in that style. So it's like, I didn't quite know how does it actually play out. And then seeing you doing, like, oh, it's like that. Okay, this is going to be great. This is going to be great. So it's like just seeing you introduce it and then how you're establishing it. It's like, oh, I see now what is, as a player, what I can do. And like the creative freedoms we then have, so like setting the tone helps a lot. You do it very well, very well.
Thank you. I mean, we were very much all learning this system together. Like, I've read the rules, but it's so radically different to 5e and any other system I've ever run, really, to be honest.
Oh yeah.
Based on an entirely different premise. But that's what's so cool about it, that it is like, I've seen 2d6 systems before, but based on such an entirely different premise, it's very cool to try something really out there, really different. And I will happily come back to it. I'm very glad that we're going to get another session of it, to be honest.
Yes.
Maybe Dragonqueer will be able to join.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I can definitely make a 6th employee work. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, she could be Andrea.
That'd be so fun, though. Like,
Claudia's
we think it's an
little...
underling, and then
No, I think she's definitely got a character in mind. For Ian Maguire in, don't know. Hang on. Geo for Ian Maguire. Oh, I mean, Tony. Geo, you've been Tony has got his eye on you as a player as well. Tony is our resident Mutant Chronicles DM. He's the one who ran the one shot that was a 3-shot last time. So when we book you for a 1-shot, let's book in 3 weeks in advance just in case sort of situation. And he's got another one that he's wanting to run, and I think he wants to run it before LinCon happens so that he can practice. So we're going to be his test bed. And I was like, I'm up for that shit. Triangle Agency coming out soon. Oh, interesting.
I'll happily put my name up if you're interested. Yes,
it's a fun system as well, that one. It's an interesting one. Again, a very different style of roleplay. And Tony is the master of it. Any other favorite DMs? See, I won't get out of it. I won't try. All right. Favorite self. I quite liked how I dealt with the Fae.
Yes.
Very good.
I also quite like my mystery. I'm quite happy with the mystery of it because you're on the right track, but there is a long way to go yet. You have suspicions and you are not 100% wrong, but you're not all the way right either. So I'm proud that I have managed to put in the right amount of mystery. Because when you write a mystery, it's got to be solvable, but it does have to be difficult. It's why I don't do a lot of it. Because it requires a lot more work.
Can I voice something of a theory that I have? And you probably won't react.
Yeah.
Yes, but I think the key information we got about the lady is the fact that there's always some unluck happening around her, but not to her. But I do not think that is by her intention. I think that is some other sinister forces working around her. So she's probably innocent, but she's definitely a key to like some, I suppose, supernatural and or magical involvement, which is kind of why I'm happy I got a little minion to go spy on her. This is probably something's gonna happen.
Yeah, I like that theory because it then does technically add the word the Rushman is connected, but it's interesting you said the word connected.
I think it's the dead husband.
Oh.
Ghost. Ghost.
Interesting. Well, it is it is getting quite late now. But sorry, yes.
I was just going to say I purposely did not look at your reaction when I said that, Josh.
I am not actually certain I even had one. I may have smiled slightly, but that's a cool idea. Is now. Yeah. This is it. Until you figure it out, everything's, yeah. So, we will go away from here now. But, guys, thank you so much for joining us this evening. The audience has been absolutely cracking. Bishop Blood, you're firing with all cannons blaring in chat. And it's been an absolute pleasure to have all of you. Thank you to our raiders, the Eldritch Scribe, Eight's Fate's Grip, and the Lost Archives, you bloody champions, all of you. Honk, honk, yes. If you mess with Bishop Blood, you get the honk. So we will go away from here now and find somebody to raid. Who have we got? Raid? I don't know. Who should we raid? Art of Mike Disney. He'll be painting. Got GTG Vicky. We do love a bit of a Vicky. Let's throw you over to GTG Vicky. She's a splendid bean. But before we do that, we need to talk about a few other people here. First of all, we need to talk about Geo. Who the absolute heck are you?
Hi, my name is Geo. I'm from the OzQuest crew. We are a relatively kind of fresh on the scene, / we were there, but then kind of taking a break. Now we're coming back again. Full swing with a brand new campaign called Sword of the Skulls. I'm actually one of the players in that campaign. I'm playing an orcish monk named Jad. Promethean is running it. It's his first time running a campaign, first time DMing. Yes, it is.
He's fucking nailing it.
Yeah,
I wouldn't have realized. Yeah.
Yeah, first time on the scene, first session. Went beautiful, and I can't wait to see him. He's going to flourish fantastically.
Do love a good bit of Promethean. He's a bloody champion. Malaika, who the absolute heck are you?
Hello. Am I on mute? No, I'm not. Okay. It's late and I'm stunned. Anyway, hi, I'm Malaika Moon. I'm singer, burlesque person, actress, just creative around town when I can summon the energy to leave my house. And yeah.
Took many lovely pictures of Karen on Saturday night.
Karen was absolutely sensational on Saturday night. She was robbed. I have to say that. She's part of my burly family, and also because it is true. But
honestly, unpopular opinion, I also believe firmly that Kitty was also robbed. What the heck? But that's just
that's just some insider local burlesque competition tea, because everything is competition.
It is.
God, I hate them so much. Anyway, got sidetracked. Yes, burlesque person. Occasionally take wonderful photos of the mother of bunnies when she is doing her absolute wonderful thing and twirling on stage. Mostly, if you want to see me play RPGs, it will be here, because these wonderful people have invited me on, and I am literally learning in real time. So come along for the journey. Why don't you?
You were learning as fast as everybody else was in this one. We were all noobs at it. We were just one of us. One of us. Terris, who the heck are you?
Hello, I am Sir Terris, your friendly neighborhood ferret. You can find me wherever TTRPGs are being played. I will pop up and I will steal your games. Not really. I sometimes play with the Lawride. I sometimes play here on Corset's Cove, and I think you can find me on Saturdays, Mondays, something, over on a microbiologist channel. That is pretty much me. Soon, mice.
Soon, mice. It's mysterious as fuck. I know what it is, but without context, it's a weird thing to threaten. Ardanna, who the absolute heck are you?
Hello, I'm Ardanna or Joe, or sometimes, you there, depending on situation. I am the GM and channel runner over at the Lawride, and I am the one who's gonna have the immense pleasure of GMing for Josh and Terris on Friday. With our ongoing live play 7th Sea campaign.
Which is, if you're talking about other weird ways to play RPGs, that one's very different too. It's very different system. Very cinematic.
It really is. It really is.
You'll roll dice like twice in the entire thing, in an entire session.
I mean, some people roll more than once or twice. But then sidetrack 1 and 2 flirt with each other and nothing gets done.
You
said that
mean
like
that
it's not
7th
what
Sea
we're
is not a
supposed
floating
to do.
simulator?
I mean, 7th Sea is an RP heavy system.
Where else
so
am I going to
don't
flirt
mind.
with Terris?
True.
Swashes
True.
are buckled, and buckles are swashed. Yes, it is splendid. And Ardanna is a really, in terms of people teaching other people how to play games, Ardanna is very good at it as well. Daria, who the heck are you?
Yes.
Okay, I am Daria. I am an artist. I made emotes and portraits for this channel. If you did not know, you know this now. And I am on nights. No, that's not the word. I'm on Thursdays. I'm on Thursday afternoons here. Thursday nights for Australia, I suppose. Playing Humblewood, and I might be here next Tuesday to play this again. Who knows?
I should hope so. Otherwise, it's going to be a little weird. That's going to be just a blank spot. And we'll have to sub in Fergus.
And my army of minions, yeah.
Yeah.
I will just drag her into the ferret nest and not let her leave.
Yeah,
It's
exactly. Feel free to commission Daria for artwork or fairy porn. You know, either way, she's up for it. And
What do you mean, or? It is artwork.
yeah, no, fairy porn is
art.
And Brian's swords would agree with you.
Exactly.
Have you checked it out? You don't even need to safe search for it. It was on John Oliver. It is actual art.
I googled it.
Brian
it.
Swords is a real artist in the world, and it is two very much furry rats in the midst of a heavy makeout session. He went looking for it. Somebody had paid $80 for it. He paid 10 grand.
Okay.
John Oliver as an otter, John Otter. And Mesdames et Messieurs, Damen und Herren, and beings of indeterminate gender or persuasion, I be Josh the Pirate. You can find me here on my channel, Corsairs Cove, where I run D&D and other RPG-related games with me lovely friends and my lovely wife, Karen, the mother of bunnies. You can also, if you like my majestic voice, but you think I could stand to tone the face down a bit, check me out in the podcast There Be Dragons, where I play the infamous and deadly pirate, Scan Felspar, and his little dragon, Rush. On Thursday night, we will be having more Humblewood. We have a special guest. I am reasonably confident it'll happen this time. We've had 2 misses, but that was a case of, firstly, forgotten time zone, and secondly, an ER experience. So third time's the charm, I hope. We will be having Fenway, the Teen DM, join us to reprise her role as Dahlia in the life plane in Humblewood of Monsters and Magic. Then on Monday night, the return of Teens in Space!
Space.
With Terris, Ardanna, and Malaika. Yes, we get them here a lot.
Yes.
And the wonderful Kate O'Sullivan as well. We're excited to have Mandy back too. Super fun. And then, yes, more of this on Tuesday night. I will also be over for Shadows of over Morna on Friday night on the Law Right. An exciting week for me. And tomorrow night, I will be over on Dragonqueers channel for a painting stream. For Fabulous Marines. I am painting a reasonably fabulous Marine. There he is. He is in the non-binary colours. He is a non-binarine. Yes, and it is all in honour of Pride Month as well. He is actually going to be for my own homebrew chapter, I have decided. Yellow, blue, purple, yellow, purple, black, and white is a pretty good colour scheme, actually, and I quite like it. Stay tuned on the Discord for images I will post when I am finished. We also have a YouTube. We have all the exclamation mark socials. We are supporting the Trevor Project today. We will be supporting the Trevor Project all throughout the week. Back on next Tuesday for the prize draw. So, guys, thank you so much for joining us this evening. It's been an absolute pleasure and a dream hanging out with you, and we will go and raid GTG Vicky now. So show Vicky all the love, throw your favourite raid emotes up in chat, and we will be back, same channel, but 7 p.m. on Thursday evening for more Humblewood. Say goodbye, everybody.
Yay. Bye, everybody.
Whee!